I think that should be it. I do believe we're on air, which feels very weird to say. Bear in mind we haven't done this before. So you're going to have to bear with us, but we have invested in some new equipment, and today we are going to build ourselves a gaming PC. The magic is I can press this little button here, and look, the camera changes. Everything is happening right now. We've invested in new mics. We've got some components here today. And the reason I'm quite excited actually to do this live build is because it means you can actually help me choose everything. Because you probably noticed on the desk that we've got a few different options for everything. We've got AMD, we've got NVIDIA, we've got air coolers, we've got, oh, that is an air cooler. We've got liquid coolers. And I might even say the words, I hate radiators today. Who knows? We've got editor Carl in the background. Carl?
Hello, I'm here.
He should be coming through now. The magic of editing, really. And yeah, look, people are actually tuning in. I can see the comments. So we will see whether this works properly. First question is actually going to be with the case, really. What case do you want me to use? Because, as I say, we've got some options. We could go for the Phanteks Evolv Shift XT. Haven't used this. We're going for ITX today. Or we can go for one from Streacom, the DA2. So we can get both of these out of the box. But we are also going to have a few other options as well. We've got, as I say, different sorts of coolers. I think the main question really is going to be whether you want to go for AMD or Intel. I don't actually have a smaller case or smaller motherboard for the new Ryzens though, just as an FYI. So if we go for Intel, we can use the latest generation stuff. If we go for AMD, then we're going to have to go for a 5800X or a 5600X. But if you saw my most recent video, you'll know that actually some of the Ryzens are really cheap right now. I didn't really understand until I'd seen it. You can get a 5600X for about £170 or so, which I know it is a slightly older CPU, but obviously if you're trying to build a gaming PC with something like a 3060 Ti, clearly that is going to be a solid option. What are people saying though? How are we doing? Hello to everyone. Hello to Josh. Hello to Tin Can. Okay. Some people saying Intel. I don't know how we do polls. I don't do live. I'm really sorry. There we go. Jordan's here in the comments saying I need a foot cam. Yeah, but Jordan, how's that going to work? If the foot cam's here and I want to change camera, not going to work. But Carl can actually do it remotely as well if he wants to. He can change. And the way it works as well, we've got these cool little lights on the camera because it's all Blackmagic stuff. So when I change camera, that light actually is over there. It's what they have had in the industry for a very long time. But to have it in the studio is pretty cool. Obviously, we have redecorated as well. That's why you haven't seen any videos in the last week or so. There's more to be done. Let's just say that. There's some pretty cool ideas coming. But even today, we've been painting because I realized that this section here, we left it white, came up on the camera, didn't look great. So that's changed. But yes, what are we saying then? What shall we say? How's the audio levels, Carl? How are we doing?
So we've got a poll. The poll is running.
Oh, we've got a poll.
We do have a poll. Evolv Shift XT, 74%.
Okay, that's good. I think we'll get both out of the box. How's the audio and things? Are we looking all right technically?
All sounds okay.
All sounds okay. One person says turn it up. If I can turn it up slightly. Here we go. That's up one notch. But now I'm entering the yellow. And the yellow could be bad. I don't know. I know red is bad, but yellow is potentially worse. Let's have a look at our cases and things, shall we? Or we'll go through all the options anyway. We've got 3060 Ti, or if you go for AMD, 6750 XT, should perform fairly similarly. Let me know which one you want to go for. Carl is going to be monitoring all of this. As I say, two different ITX boards, B550i or Z690. This will need a BIOS update, so you can join me for the fun that is if we do decide to go for that. Or obviously we've got two different coolers. I don't know what's going to fit. And here's the problem, right? This is why part of what I'm planning scares me a little. Because if we do make a mistake, there's no editing. Editor Carl can't do anything over there, can you? You are trapped.
I cannot save you this time. There's nothing I can do.
He can't save me this time, exactly. So everything could go wrong. But we're not doing a water-cooled build. I do want to do a live stream water-cooled build at some point, but I think that could be a disaster. So let's save that for a different sort of day. what we got? Yeah, power supply, we're just going to use SFX, that's fine. And then if we do go for AMD, we can use this little air cooler. That is amazing. Considering the size, I used this in my personal rig for a while. Very, very good. But case options are as follows. Both equally exciting, but in terms of dimensions and things, I'm not really sure quite what's going to fit in. So I'm hoping all of the stuff I've got from the storage unit is going to work. I've got a few backup things, but who knows. So this is the Phanteks Evolv Shift XT. And I've had this a while, so apologies to Phanteks for actually being a little bit slow to get round to this. I think the problem is genuinely this. The big cases take up a lot of room. So you go in there and you quite literally trip over cases and things and you go, I probably should use this, and then you use it in a build. But the problem is with the smaller stuff, it fits neatly away in the corner and then you don't see it for a while. So it's a bit counterproductive. So we need to do more ITX. But especially now with the RTX 4090 and soon to be the RTX 4080, I'm not sure how it's going to fit in cases like this, because obviously they've got even bigger. But this is our Evolv Shift. Looks pretty neat actually, and I know this one can grow. I'm not sure how yet, but I know that this can grow. Here it is. It's quite a nice looking case actually, isn't it? I like how it's very solid. ITX cases tend to actually be very well built. Interestingly, if you do want to go for micro ATX, there doesn't seem to be too many options that are sort of built to this sort of standard. They tend to be a bit more of a cheaper option, which don't get me wrong is great, but it's nice to have some more flexibility. I've actually got the new X670E Gene in, and that's like a really super over-the-top motherboard, but I don't actually have a case to put it in yet. We were looking at these earlier. There's one from Cooler Master we're getting in, one of the Master Box things, wasn't it? Yeah. And yeah, it's probably going to be like a 50, 60, maybe £70 case. Seems like it deserves a better motherboard, really. But yeah, this is option one anyway. Plenty of room around the back. I think that will take about, oh, that takes a 3-slot GPU. We could even try and see if we could fit a 4090 in here, actually. I don't know. That might actually work. That could do it. Let me know in the comments if you want to see that. But I will have to get Carl to run to the storeroom to get a more powerful SFX power supply, but we could try that. Let me know if you want that to happen. Or option two, as I say, is the streak arm. I need my scissors. How are we doing in the comments as well? I am going to try and keep you up to date with the comments. It's going to be a tricky one to 1,000 viewers. Wow. I haven't live streamed in about 4 or 5 years, so yeah, 1,000 viewers. I'm glad you're here. Let's have a look. Jaden's here, Gasper's here, but his message has been retracted. Something he said, he doesn't agree with his own words there. He's changed his mind. What time are you there now? If this screen at any point actually does change to, say, a time that is wrong, the time, according to my clock, is 4:15. It's 4:15. There is an AMD launch happening a little bit later as well. So it will. This will be done by then, don't you worry. All AMD build, says Chris. Tin Can, where the 4090 Ti at? I don't know. Ask Nvidia. Probably not going to come out for a while. Ben Knight, £1. Bit dark. What's a bit dark? We can adjust that. That's the beauty of having the man with the plan here. He can adjust things. But there we go. AMD today, British boys, 4 p.m. AMD, it's not 4 p.m. It's 8 p.m. What are you on about? Wrong, I think, unless I'm wrong. Then I look silly. I'm back to this one now, look genius. How am I? I am feeling a little bit stressed at the moment, but generally all right. I'm in the zone, as you say. Yeah, the question was, what case do you want me to use if you're only just joining? We've got the Phanteks Evolv Shift XT in black, or this one here from Streakom that I haven't seen yet. And I've already ripped the box. It's a disaster. But here we go. Live unboxing. And we've got a little trick up our sleeve a little bit later as well, because we have a third camera. So we can get really up close and personal, which should be pretty cool. Maybe we should invest in like wireless HDMI or something. We can be like Ted on the grid, go around, find all the celebrities and things that are here. But yeah, here it is, our DA2. Get this open. I don't know what colour this is going to be. It's probably going to be black, but I know you can get it in silver. But the black box is ominous. It is ominous. I wonder if you can set up macros as well, so the camera automatically changes, Carl. What do you reckon?
What, wherever you look?
No, it won't be able to do that.
Toby eye tracking.
Yeah, well, yeah, Toby. Oh, that would be so cool, wouldn't it? Toby eye tracking. Try not to break things today. Here we go. It's a very different pace, isn't it, to normal? Normally, it's all energy, which is legit. A lot of people say, "Oh, you know, are you actually that stupid / insane?" Yes, I think most people testify. This is very Mac, isn't it? Look at that. So this is the other option. Actually, not too different, I imagine, in terms of volume. It's quite nice to see them side by side. I think the choice has got a little bit harder because people know what this is, whereas this is probably a little bit more niche, which is pretty cool. But it's nice and big. Nice and big. This makes me want to build in this. What do you reckon, Carl?
Well, I do quite like the silver. It does look quite smart.
This does come in silver as well, to be fair.
Yeah. I think that I do quite like the Streacom now, seeing it. I know what
in
to
person.
expect with the Phanteks, I guess.
Yeah, everyone's voting 3060 Ti.
I think that's pretty unanimous on the GPU.
So no one wants the 4090, everyone wants the 3060 Ti, that's fine. Okay, budget Radeon better. PC-centric dark mode, what does that mean? I don't know.
Is that because the wall's dark or because...
I don't know. I mean, we're definitely fine for brightness. Well, I mean, how is it on your screen? Is your screen equally okay?
It looks okay.
We're graded. We're all good. Do you have free RTX 4090 Ti? It doesn't exist. So.
What does Carl look like? Is he even real?
Well, he's not going to appear for a while. We've got a bot already, which is actually quite. What's the word? Report, remove, hide. There you go. They're gone. They're out. Gone forever. Imagine if it was easy as that forever. But there we go. Anyway, let's get this open. Do we need a special screwdriver or does it all just come out? I think you get the screwdriver included in the kit. Which actually kind of annoys me though, because what? Is it really necessary? Like, why do you need to have a non-standard screw? Just because it looks slightly better? Yeah, look, you've got this little Allen key with all of your screws for this one. I would say we could do both, but we don't have time for that. We do not have time for that. But that's the front, side, back, other side. So we get one of the side panels open so you can actually see what's in store. This is the really interesting bit now. You've got to watch me use an Allen key that isn't really that big. So this is not the nicest way of building a PC, if I'm honest. Like, it's fine, like, you'll get over it, but it just seems a bit unnecessary. At least give you like a screwdriver with a tip rather than a small little Allen key. Seems a bit of a waste if you ask me.
We've got a donation.
We've got a dono.
Daniel Dexter, £2.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. That £2 will go towards some more paint, probably.
He says, love the videos. Any tips for a new PC builder?
Any tips? People always laugh. I say, just take your time, because that's something people don't tell you. Because it can get stressful, because obviously you're spending a lot of money on all of your components. And if you rush things, that's when things can go wrong. And if you almost expect things to go wrong, then when they do go wrong, you're all right. Like this, you see, look, this is... I might have to get my screwdriver kit out. My iFixit kit. You must have seen all of the adverts for iFixit, right? It appears on Linus and things all of the time. I bought it thinking that is way too expensive. Wasn't really happy. I needed it for a water-cooled build. Genuinely one of the best things ever. This is not a paid endorsement. The iFixit kit is actually really good if you are going to be dealing with like really small things like this, which is pretty cool. Right, you know what? I give up. Carl, I'm going to hand this off to you.
you don't want
The iFixit kit is on the shelf over there. Can you find the right bit and open this up for us, please? This is the benefit of you being here. I'm sorry, people are going to ask, where is he? What's he look like? You're not going to know. 750,000 subs. Carl face reveal. Going to hand this off to you. There we go. Thank you very much.
Voting for the Phanteks one though.
People voting for the Phanteks one anyway. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. We get that one open. But if you want my initial review on the Streacom, looks very cool. I'm not sure this is particularly friendly or acceptable, if I'm honest. But there we go. How are we doing? Let's check in with the comments for a second, because that's what it's all about. This is a live PC build. If I didn't do any of the comments, that would be silly. If you get a second as well, Carl, you're right to turn your speakers down a little bit, because I can sort of hear it come through the laptop. Thank you very much, sir. Now would be a good time to insert ads, says Google. I think we're all right at the moment, actually. That's why this video is sponsored by the dog, who's downstairs, and he's very sad today. His sponsor spot would be, please spend more time with me. It's wet outside. It took me ages to do my business this morning. I need some entertainment. You're upstairs talking to 2,667 viewers. So I don't know. What do you think's more valuable, Carl? That amount of viewers or one dog? What would you rather have?
2,600 dogs.
Oh, that's smart. I would not have thought about that. The W there goes to Carl. Right, let's get this open with my comically large screwdriver that you guys always say. Comments, almost forgot there. We've got someone spamming. We can fix that. If you're going to spam, I'll tell you what's going to happen. You're going to get put in the timeout. You do it again, you're out. You ruin it for yourself. Don't do it. Don't ruin it for yourself, because it's not going to fly. Not today. How long does it, that's a good question. How long does it usually take to build a PC? It takes me probably about an hour and a half, I'd say, on average. I would say. It's always a little bit skewed because I am actually filming everything. So I have to go over it and make mistakes and do it all again. And you have to put your presenting voice on. So instead of saying, hi everyone, so today we've got this new power supply. It is from Phanteks. You have to do this. You have to go. You sort of stand over here. You get ready. You think about how you just had a load of dinner, lunch. You're feeling a bit bloated. And then you go, hello everybody, how are we doing? Today we are looking at this new power supply. This one is from Phanteks. It is actually SFX, which means, I don't know what it stands for. We'll look it up. Editor Carl put this in the notes at the end. This is actually from Phanteks. This is their Revolt SFX 750. But if you look on the top, it actually says powered by Sonic. So it's a little bit of a rebrand. So that's why it takes a little bit longer for me to usually do a PC build. Tangent. We're going to be here for ages, aren't we? No, we're not. It's going to be entertainment the whole way through, I promise. Oh, see, like I said, don't spam. I said don't spam. He's in a timeout now. He's in a timeout. He should take this timeout to think about what he's done, because it's no good.
I've taken 6 screws out and I still don't know how to come apart.
So we've update from Carl. Sorry, how's the screws going?
I've taken out 8 of them.
8 screws removed.
Still don't know how to take it apart.
Okay, I imagine it's just all the screws. If in doubt, take out.
That is all.
If in doubt, take them out.
That's all the screws
I would say. 3,166. That's very, very cool. Concurrent 750. How about that? Are you in the UK? Yes, I am. Confirmed. Someone's still spamming. I'm afraid he's gone. That's it. You blew it. I said 2 strikes and you're out. I don't want to hide him on this channel. I don't want to add him as a moderator. Put user in, let's just put him as a timeout again. Does it again, I will hide you from the channel, so yes. Anyway, back to this case. So apparently everyone wants the Phanteks. So I think we're going to use the Phanteks for today and we'll do the Streacom a little bit later. So let's see if I can work out how to get this apart. Remembering that the original question, how long does it take to build a gaming PC? As I say, it's different for me, probably about an hour and a half. The first time I did it was a while actually, probably was about 3 hours, something like that. I had a few issues. Oh look, one screw and this bottom bit comes off. Probably was about 3 hours because I was second guessing everything and I was following a guide, but the guide, it was a old school, you know, like website, remember those, with pictures. So I was following that and it didn't really line up with everything that I was doing. So it took me a little bit longer. The thing that actually caught me out was the hard drive, oh not the hard drive, the optical drive bay, because that wasn't coming out properly and I remember getting annoyed. Okay, so how does this come out? How does this come out? I could read the instructions, but that would be boring. You've got 2 screws at the back here, but usually it's the thumb screws you sort of want to take out. But let's start by taking these screws off, and we go from there. Do I have any funny stories to tell today? I don't know. Do I have anything funny to say, Carl?
Not usually.
No, no one stepped in the paint or anything, did they? Oh, I see, I see. He's insulting me. That's very nice of him, isn't it? Do you want to give me some comments while I'm doing this?
Do you have a favourite Formula 1 driver?
I don't know whether I should say, because obviously there are people here that will disagree with me, but obviously I am very much a British driver through and through fan. So George Russell, Lewis Hamilton, and obviously what happened last year was questionable. So I actually tend to not like Red Bull these days. I know. If you're a Max Verstappen fan, genuinely I think he's a very, very talented driver. I think he does deserve a lot of success. I just wasn't happy about what happened last year, like I think a lot of people were. But there we go. How's this come out? What are we doing here? Shall I read the instructions? That seems a bit like cheating to me. I'm just trying to work this out. So you've got some, usually it's obvious. You'd think this slides out or something, wouldn't you? This is why we have editing, usually. So stuff like this doesn't make the cut, but there we go. Give me some more questions, I'll multitask.
How old was you when you built your first PC?
I was about 18. I'm sure I could have done it younger, but obviously I didn't have the money because I wasn't working at the time.
We just got another donation, a super chat, I guess they're called technically.
Super chat. That is super.
From Esper Husky. Been thinking about getting a Digital Storm PC, but their reviews scare me. What do you think of them?
Digital Storm, it's always going to depend on the PC that you go for, because the problem is when you're buying like an Xbox or something, you know what you're buying. So, you know, oh, it's better than PlayStation or PlayStation's better. Other than that, you know exactly what you're getting. But when you're buying a PC, I would say it's usually more about the specs that you're getting and then the relative price and how much they're sort of charging you to actually build the thing rather than the specific build. Right, removing the top panel. Remove the front magnetic panel. We have done that. Slide the locks to the inside.
We've got another super chat.
Another one?
Charles Kerr. He sent us like an avocado doing like.
Oh,
bicep
Charles
curls.
is the Google guy. Charles is the man. We like Charles. Wouldn't say we love Charles. We just like Charles. No, Charles is pretty cool. There's the top piece. Look, it's gone. Charles was all partly involved in trying to get me to do lives, so he's cost me money, which is why we don't love him. We just like him. There we go. That piece has been removed, and then these side panels come off. Look, just like that. Magic. And then we have the inside of our case. I'm sorry that took so long, but there we are. We have the inside of our chassis. Did you manage to get the side panels off the Streakon?
I did not.
Okay. Well, this is a triple slot system. So, I mean, I want to know if a 4090 is going to fit in this. Can you go fetch me the 4090, please?
I can.
I think that would be all right, but then the problem is, it might be okay. You have this pass-through section where the air comes through, and then in order for cooling, it needs to actually go through to the other side. And they have opened it up a little bit here, so actually, this might be okay. We're not doing 4090. People don't want the 4090. He doesn't want to get in shot. Here he is. Look, 4090 here. I mean, look at the box. The box is bigger than the whole of this case. Sorry, I don't have editor Carl. There we go, look at that. The box is genuinely bigger than the case, which doesn't bode well for it fitting, but I think it will. I think it will. Here it is. Let me know in the comments, is it going to fit? Is it going to fit? Is it going to fit? Put the new AMD in there. I don't have it. Sad times. You know, often I get stuff before launch, but no one knows anything yet. Not even AMD. Just, look at that. There you go. No, that's fine. 4090 will fit in here. Maybe. Maybe? Yeah. That actually genuinely fits. No, I think that's all right. Don't... He's giving me a look, right? He's giving me a look. He's giving me a doesn't fit. I'll prove to him it fits. Look, I'll take these panels off now, and we'll go from there.
People said RIP cooling.
Well, tough. Anything else? Come on, keep me updated. Keep me updated. Who we got? Give me some names. Give me some names. Who we got in the chat?
We've got a few. I've missed some donations.
More donations. Wow.
Anonymous 024. Good name.
What? 24 pence?
Just 024.
No, I meant has he donated 24 pence?
$2.
$2. Again, that's going to go towards some paint. Like we've only painted half the room, so.
Here is for all your helpful info and your time.
Oh, that is amazing. Thank you very much for that. Donations are appreciated, but this is very much a free stream. This is for you. This is not something you have to pay for. Don't you worry.
I've got another one from Warwick Gaming Channel. £2 donation.
Oh.
I stream on 16 gigabytes. Would 32 be better for me?
What, RAM?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say so. It doesn't really matter for most games, but this is tight. Maybe it's not. It will. Yeah, it'll be all right. Getting this out might be tricky, but that should fit. I think.
Everyone's just saying it's going to overheat.
Well, I don't know. I'm not the master here. Is that in? Yeah, I think that's in.
I feel like the new poll is...
It's not in.
Will it overheat?
I don't know whether it actually will fit because it's sort of... Oh, that's the wrong camera. Whoops. Because it doesn't line up exactly. I think you could get this to work, but only with the founders. The other ones won't work. I'm just trying to work out why it's not going in, though. Something is a bit amiss. I think, it's catching the top. It's catching the top. There we go. Told you it would fit. Ha! Wrong. Sorry, it's not you, it's him. Wrong. There we go. Will the side panel then go back on? This is giving me a good idea now. That's the wrong side.
Oh.
What are people saying? Is it going to overheat? Probably.
This is, what about the 12-pin connector?
Yeah, that's not going to work, is it? That's not going to work. Why do the people know more than me? Because I'm too busy thinking about, you know, wow, this looks cool. When, yeah, practicality, as we know, there are, yeah, that's an absolute no. That, it's not going to work. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. This would be prime do not do, because, look, if I hold this up to the camera, you can see that, yeah, that's not going to work. Maybe if you bought a very specific adapter, but even then you'd probably have to cut things out. So, yeah, but not going to work.
It can go taller, can't it?
It can. Yeah, but even if it goes taller, I still think that's going to have to go quite a lot taller. How much taller can it go?
I don't know.
Let's have a look. Slide the top panel to the front and lift it up. Remove the chassis, remove the radiator bracket. How do we make this bigger?
90-degree adapter, people are saying.
Yeah, you can soon get the 90-degree adapter from Cable Mod, which should be good, but then I don't necessarily think that's going to work here, really. I guess it goes up a little bit. It's certainly not going to be the most optimal, but I imagine people will be able to get this to work, especially if you're doing some sort of like custom cooling, but might be a bit tricky in this chassis. How does it go up? I should have done my research. Yeah, it does go up quite a bit actually, so maybe we're okay, because we're currently in this mode, aren't we? And it can go into this mode. So yeah, you've got compact, air boost, liquid cooled config. So how do we raise this up? I would sing You Raise Me Up, but fortunately for you, we don't want to risk it.
They said just leave the lid off.
Just what, for now?
For good.
For good. I have been changed for good.
Or a Dremel.
No, I'm not using a bloomin' Dremel. This is what I should call the title, and no one would have clicked on it. Marcus reads a manual. You're meant to say, who is Emmanuel? That's funny. Emmanuel, who is he? And why is he here? Right, sorry. I say I'm sorry. I am mildly sorry, not massively sorry, but a little bit sorry.
And then we've Manuel Lindner is in the chat right now.
Ah, he's here. Thank you so much, Manuel. Thank you. That is amazing. Thank you so much for joining. If we could send you a super chat, we're busy, but we'd consider it. We would consider it.
So after 408 votes, will it overheat? 69%.
So yes.
Say yes.
I genuinely think you might be all right. You might be all right. So yeah, I think like you say, you leave the top off and then you build on it, because they've got like liquid cooling stuff here. And yeah, so you build on top, and then I think when you're done, you essentially lay everything back down. Secure the graphics card, reinsert the chassis on the bottom, and then you move the standoffs depending on where you put it back. So yes, okay. This was not the easiest case in the world to do on a first time, but there we go.
I've just been outed for missing a super chat.
Oh, what? But super chat, man.
Brock, I'm sorry.
We've let him down. What's his name?
Brock, with a C.
Rather than...
CK, I guess.
Oh, so just BR...
OC.
OC. Okay, it's cool.
So what games are you playing these days? Love the chan.
Oh, thank you. I'll tell you what games I'm playing these days, because I haven't shut up about it, have I, to Carl. I've actually gone back and started playing Middle-earth Shadow of War, because I didn't manage to complete that last time because I was busy. And it's so good. It aged so well as well. It's not actually that old. How am I going to get this out? I actually don't think it's going to come out.
Brock said, thanks, Carl. You're welcome, Brock.
See, Carl's got your back. Other than the fact that he didn't have your back initially. So.
That's it. I'm sorry.
Oh. See, I always think British humour's great, and then you learn a little bit about Scottish humour, and they just like go to town on each other, don't they? They take no prisoners. They're great.
Somebody said, give Carl the PC. That's nice.
Well, I did give you, technically, I did give you an RTX 4090, didn't I?
But I had to give it back.
Technically, yeah, you did all the benchmarking.
The benchmarking.
And you're going to have to do it again for when we get 4080 and all the other stuff in as well, aren't you? Oh, okay, so we're not going to use this. Can we get one final vote in the chat? I know people are asking for, what was it, 3060 Ti? Give me a final one. Are we going for RX 6750 XT, or are we going for the Gigabyte RTX 3060 Ti? Let me know now. Imagine Who Wants to Be a Millionaire music is now playing in the background for the Ask the Audience. Just like that. That's the one.
The poll is live again.
The poll is live.
Oh my god, we've just got a $20 super chat.
The world according to Fox. You're insane, but I love it.
Is
that Thea? I don't think that is. I don't think that is her. That would be funny, but no, she's on train. She's coming home. She's coming home, well excited. Unfortunately, she's going to...
$20?
Yeah, if we're not done by the time she actually needs to get here, it'll be like a movie. She'll be stuck at the train station by herself in the rain, umbrella up, and then she'll find a new man, which would be pretty sad, actually, wouldn't it? R.I.P. relationship. Okay, right. What are we doing? Let's actually start this. Okay, so what are the chat saying? What's the chat saying about...
3060 Ti is 64%.
Okay, so we're going with 3060 Ti. Okay, AMD, who have just gratefully sent out the 6750 XT. I'm going to reply to your email now, and I'm going to timestamp this and say, people said no. Sorry. Not my fault. People said no. So we're going with the 3060 Ti. What are we going for?
I've done
motherboard.
AMD versus Intel, basically.
Yeah, so options are, we go for Z690 with the ASRock board. So this is a 690 Phantom Gaming. I can read, well done. Or we can go for the B550i Aorus Pro AMD, and then we've got a few different options for CPUs. We could go Ryzen 5, Ryzen 7. Let me know what you want. But then obviously if we go for Intel, we could go with an i9, or we could go, I like the new branding from Intel actually, we could go for the i7 13700K. So let me know what you want. It's all up to you. Personally, if it was a 3060 Ti, I would actually consider going for this one, the 12400, so previous gen, but obviously going to save yourself some money. This would probably be the most helpful, but it's up to you. It's up to you. So yeah, let me know. Let me know. What are we saying?
Oh, it's tight.
It's tight. It's tight.
51%. AMD was in the lead.
Okay, 51. All right. We've got any more other comments I can answer while we're sort of working it out? I'll tidy up while we're here as well. Tidy up. What are we saying?
People want a size comparison of the 3060 Ti next to the 4090.
Who's people? Is it one person?
Yeah, I thought it was a good question.
It is a good question. Very good
I've lost
question.
the comment.
How's the audio, by the way, with the mixing between two mics? Like, obviously you can hear yourself, which I know you love the fact you can hear yourself, but does it sound sound fine?
I'm quieter, but it's nice. Than the background.
Yeah, so here's the 3060 Ti. Here it is. Here it is. And then the 4090 is boom, boom, boom. Oh, just to upset people. There it is. It's a big boy. Yeah, big boy. There we go.
Hey, the votes are so close.
Should we disrespect the hardware live on air? I played cricket once, so I am a professional. Do not try this at home. I mean, it wouldn't be very funny when I break it and I can't make any more videos or use it. And you know what's really sad as well? Do you know how many times I've actually used the 4090 to play a game for myself? 0 times. It's just been exclusively for work, which is tragic. But that's the problem with hardline liquid cooling your own PC. You can't swap things out very easily. I know, boo-hoo cry to me.
We've got some more donations.
We've got more donos.
Red Devil YT. I took my PC to a computer shop to get it built, and I've yet to receive it. Are PC parts taking longer to arrive?
I mean, I think if it's out of stock or low on stock, then yeah, probably. It depends. I mean, I don't know much about the particular supply chain at the moment, so I'm probably not the best person to ask. But I know, obviously, we've been having delays for the last few years, so while it's better, that doesn't mean it's perfect. So it could be, but generally speaking, if you sort of take best price and availability into account when you're ordering, if I was ordering like a graphics card or something that was out of stock, I probably wouldn't expect it to arrive
again.
Ever. No, I wouldn't expect it to arrive between probably 2 to 6 weeks, I would say. It's probably fair. Depends on the card. Something like these, NVIDIA have loads of them. And I think there's going to be so many good Black Friday deals around things like this, because it's no secret they've got a lot of them. And the problem is that they make all of these actual GPUs, the chips that go on there, then they need to go into cards and they stockpile the GPUs. So just because they don't necessarily have loads of the graphics cards ready to go, that doesn't mean they don't have loads of the actual GPUs and the chips, which they do. And so they're going to try and farm them out, I guess, and sell them off, which is probably one of the reasons why the latest series is more expensive as well. But yeah, it's quite annoying.
I've got another donation from Brock. He's back again.
Brock's back.
He built a PC himself, an i9 13900K and a 4090 with your guides.
Oh, awesome. I mean, that makes me very happy because obviously we try and be a little bit entertaining around here. Like sometimes like we do like a little twirl on camera, which, you know, people melt. They're like, wow, I wish I could do that.
We've got another one from Brian G. He's even given us that emoji. Brian G. You inspired me to build my first PC after I spent a long time thinking about doing it. Thank you. My setup is now insane. You didn't make it seem too easy.
Oh.
Let me know if I can send pics. Much love.
Do I make it seem easy?
Join the Discord, Brian.
Yeah, join the Discord. If you're not already, you can join the Discord, linked down below, which I know opens up a whole can of worms about moderation and things. But in my defense, how often is it that everything launches at the same time? It's crazy. What are we doing, Carl, with the motherboards? Intel, AMD? Sorry, that was a bit aggressive.
AMD came back, and then now Intel's ahead again. 709 votes.
Yeah.
Intel is 52%.
All right, that's it. We're doing Intel then. We're doing Intel.
Poll is ending.
Although it would be easier for me to go AMD because we could do that. Oh, the poll's about to end.
I'm gonna end it to see
3,
if anything happens.
2, 1, and it's ended. What are we saying? What are we saying? Come on, drum roll, please.
This is odd. Intel at 50%.
Oh, you're joking.
AMD at 49%. So we've lost a percent somewhere.
We've lost a percent. People went for other. Okay.
There was no other.
No, look, I respect the vote. This is gone. And you know what also is really annoying? Like subtle things with the editing when we have to edit these. I have to do this multiple times because what often happens is I'll hold it and I'll say, let's move on to the next scene. So it's a transition and not a transition like, not a transition like this. That's not transition. Wait. Oh, look at that. That's amazing. That transition, ready? Oh, look at that. No, not a transition like that. I sort of want to film it naturally so it comes in, fast paced. And so, I don't know why, but I started throwing the boxes. So I'll be here and I'll be like, bang, grab it. But then what often happens is it lands upside down and you have to film it again because it looks stupid. But yeah, AMD's out, which means we're on team DDR5 as well, because this is a DDR5 motherboard. How long does it take to build a gaming PC? Well, if you're talking gas, quite a while, which normally you won't be. So I'll pretend I'm... Oh, the adapter, it's upsetting me.
We're 42 minutes in and we've opened the motherboard box.
Oh, wow, are we really? Well, maybe this can turn into like a AMD watch along as well. Sad times. Although you're only paid till 5:30, aren't you? So it's a bit awkward. Sorry, Carl. I would say you can have tomorrow off, but no, we run a tight ship around here. So.
There's stuff to do.
No, I'm joking. I said that to you, didn't I? Like day one, where this is a nice working environment. I want you to work your hours, no more.
It was a lie.
It wasn't a lie. That's so mean. I gave you last Friday off. Okay, so yes, we're using this motherboard here. So this is Z690, and honestly speaking, there's no right or wrong thing to do. But I personally, if I was building a gaming PC, I would look at the prices of Z690 and Z790, and if there was a big difference, which there probably is going to be, I would just go for Z690, as long as it has this port on the back over here, which is a BIOS flashback port, one of them. This one, it's labelled, it's got this little grey outline, and then you have a flashback button. What it means is that you can actually update the BIOS without needing a new CPU, because I'll show you if you want a little bit later. When we first turn this on, it's not going to do anything because the code on this doesn't have a clue what a 13700K is. So if you plug that in, you'll need to update the BIOS. But you can save yourself quite a lot of money by going for a previous generation board. And the only real difference at the moment is you've got a little bit more bandwidth that gives you more USB. Anything else? It's just extra USB, maybe an extra PCI Gen 4 or something.
Gen 5 SSD, don't they?
Yeah, but they did before on 690 as well.
Is it Gen 5?
Essentially, you've just got more PCIe lanes. So these PCIe lanes are used for different things. So you've got extra PCIe lanes, I believe, and you've got extra USB. So most people don't actually need any of that anyway, because there's way too much bandwidth, if you like, for most people. So save yourself some money, go for this, update the BIOS. Question now, new poll man, if you can get on that please, is which CPU we're using. We have 3 options here today. We have the more entry-level one, which is personally what I would pair with a 3060 Ti. Remember, you're wanting to essentially buy the cheapest CPU you can that doesn't hold your graphics card back. Remember also that a gaming CPU does not exist. i9 will say, this is the best gaming CPU in Shadow of the Tomb Raider at 1080p with RTX 4090. That isn't very real world. If you're building a PC, you have a budget, and the more you spend on the CPU, the less you can spend on this and other components. So always try and match a CPU that gives you enough performance so your graphics card can stretch its legs, but then don't go too hard that you're wasting money, essentially. So that's our first option, probably what I'd recommend. I would say the i5, but that's somewhere else. I don't know where it is. I haven't lost it.
The white PC.
Oh, it's in the white PC. There you go. We've got an Intel Arc video coming up very shortly, which would be pretty cool. It's in that. I don't want to take that apart. Sorry. If you're upset by that, I don't care. Whatever. No, I do, I know. The other option is the i7-13700K, which is going to be brilliant if you're wanting to upgrade your GPU later. It's going to give you more options. It's overclockable, that's what the K means. You can get more performance out of it. Has more cores, definitely a lot more performance. But for the sort of games you're going to play, this is probably the best pairing. Or we can just be a little bit silly, go for an i9. Terrible, terrible. Don't pair these two together. If you want to do that, we'll do that, because this is live. This is about you. And it's about me just being able to play with some buttons, really. It's the only reason we're here. What are we saying? Most people 12400, I can see in the chat. Oh, I've got What's that mean?
The votes say slightly different.
Oh my God.
We've had some more donations.
Well, what do the votes say? One thing at a time. We will come back to the donations. Donations are amazing.
41% i7.
47 say i7.
41% say i7.
And what do the others say? i9.
28% i5.
Oh.
Oh, it's changing. It's because I've said it now. People are changing.
Well, where is the vote? Is it through YouTube? I know nothing.
It's on YouTube. Yeah. i7 13700K 40%. Majority vote. 43%.
What's going up? Okay. I need to do a little dance. Sorry, because I realise we're being boring. Oh, now I'm dizzy. Whoa. Marcus passes out on live on air. We found out about something earlier that can save your life, didn't we? What was it called? The location thing.
Something 3 words.
When we were listening to Jeremy Vine earlier, Radio 2.
What 3 words?
What 3 words?
What 3 words?
It's a way of locating yourself down to like a meter, essentially, a meter square, wherever you are in the world. So it's a lot more accurate than postcodes, and it's a lot easier to use than latitude and longitude. Install it on your phone. This is not a paid ad. It's really cool, and you can find out exactly where you live, which is, well, obviously you know where you live. You can find out, if you're having an emergency, you can say where you are down to detail, and it's cool. Anyway, so what final verdict?
Final i7, 44%.
i7, all right. i7. Well, we haven't used that yet, so there we go. Just again, to be clear, you're wrong, but we're going to do that anyway. You're not wrong. Well, no, you sort of are. I mean, I don't know. This is going to give you better longevity, and it also means we need to update this BIOS. So I think it probably is the right decision for this build. But if you were after a budget gaming PC, that's what I would go for. Right, let's actually pick up the pace now. I think this is when we need to go to Carl camera time, actually. We don't have a jingle for this. Sorry, we should have got that. And I've made a mess over there. So let's move some boxes around.
That we tidied.
And we can go to Carl camera time. And if you're lucky, if you look very closely in the reflections, you might see his face. I know, hang about for that. Carl face reveal. Hopefully not. Not yet.
750,000 subs.
Yeah, 750,000 subs, Carl face reveal. Yes. There we go. So here is our i7, looking all nice and new, paste-free. Happy, happy days. How's that? I need to go to control room. There you go. You need to zoom in a bit more, boy. No, that's the focus. Yeah, no one's seeing this. Not yet. Not yet. Come on. Shocking. Wait for it. Wait for it. Come on, Carl. There you go. We're in. Okay. We could turn autofocus on, actually. But there you go. Well, you'll have to do that. Right. Got Carl's banned. He's out. He can put the autofocus on. and then we'll come back to him. But in the meantime, we will start actually building this PC. So we open up the slot, as you guys have seen before. You've got the new Intel socket. I wouldn't actually recommend you tilt it downwards because that's a recipe for disaster. Can you be trusted? There we go. Right, we can come a bit closer to you as well if you want. There we go, look. So we can open up the slot. Look at that, look, that's clean. And we gently lay it in. And then we'll put it down a little bit. Again, you would have it completely flat on the box. It's just so I can show you what I'm doing. Push it down a little bit with your finger, and then it all comes off. And then this comes off as well. You save it for Ron, which is you in a few years, basically. So put that inside the box, and then you have your CPU ready to go. Magical. Happy, happy days. Oh, you're almost in the frame. You're good. That was slick. That was slick. Look at us using 3 HDMI cables. Now I need to have your opinion on the RAM, because we've got a few different options. Look, I brought everything. As I say, brought all from the storage space. So lucky you.
Foot cam is an option.
Foot cam? No, we don't want foot cam. There's this foot cam. There we go. Look at that. Don't want that. Options. We need to go for DDR5. So that's out. DDR4, that's out. DDR4, that's out. We have Vengeance DDR5, or we have Trident Z5. Cool name. Let me know. You have 30 seconds. What are the comments saying? W socks. Yeah, they are good socks, actually, aren't they? They're very cool socks. They match as well. Good socks. Free foot content. That's why we're here. Marcus, does your personal rig work yet? Yes, it does to an extent. I haven't changed it since. It's fine for gaming because it doesn't get hot, but it doesn't do anything like to using all the i9. And you can actually turn the voltage down a little bit, but it's not fixed, no. So basically, no, I failed. But I will fix that and I'll upgrade it to probably a 4090. How much is the build? Well, you're deciding that, aren't you? You're determining. But you're probably looking at about 1,500, I'd say, to 2,000, if I was to guess. Everyone, have we got a vote going? Have we got a vote? Come on, get your votes in.
Got a vote going.
Everybody get your votes in.
What are the options?
We've got Trident Z, or we've got some Corsair Vengeance. That's awful. We've got some Corsair Vengeance DDR5. How many jokes do we actually cut out? How many jokes don't make the edit?
70%.
70%? Oh. Need to get a new editor. No, not really. We don't. He's great. We love Carl. Carl's been doing such a good job. Have you noticed? I don't know. So yeah, Corsair Vengeance, or Corsair Vengeance is black, actually. This one is that black as well? I don't know.
Not to mention the speeds.
The speeds, this one is 6600 megahertz, which might mean it doesn't work properly at XMP with this particular motherboard because it's really fast. It requires very tight timings, but we're doing a BIOS update, so we might be able to fix that. Trident Z is running at 6800 as well. 6800 and 6600. The chances of this running XMP first time is probably quite low. What are we saying? What are we doing? What are we doing? Oh, there was Corsair Vengeance 58%. All right, we'll go with that. What was the super chat that we brushed over very rudely?
I don't know how to get it back.
Oh dear. Cool. So here is our RAM.
Oh, somebody told me to put the Discord link in the chat, in the description, which I've now done.
It is in there. It should be in there. RAM is in. You just give it a push. Really, really easy. A question actually to chat. Genuine question, but I would love to know the answer. If you've either built a PC a little bit or never done it, what is the bit or bits that sort of make you the most nervous and scare you the most, that you would almost feel like you want me to put your mind at ease for, I guess? Is there anything that worries you about building a PC? If so, what is it? Let me know. Comment section below. 32 gigabytes of RAM. Other thing with RAM is obviously you have DDR4, DDR5. This is a DDR5 compatible motherboard. It is not compatible with DDR4. The CPU itself is. So if you do want to save yourself some money, you can go for a cheaper motherboard, which is a good way of saving some money. And the other hidden benefit a lot of people don't realize is you have to go with 32 gigabytes of RAM on DDR5, I believe, at the moment. You can buy 16, but it's only single sticks, which is why 32 is the minimum. So if you wanted to save yourself some money and get 16 gig of RAM, you could only do that with DDR4. I'm going to, oh, burp. I feel it. I'll turn the mic off. I've got trapped wind. I've got trapped wind. The only thing I will say, though, is because this is ITX, I would go for 32 gig out the gate because upgrading it is going to be a bit more tricky. So this is probably a good way of doing it. So this is our motherboard here. Bang. Keep me updated, Carl. What's cooking?
We've just had a donation from West Coast Loz.
From who?
West Coast Loz.
West Coast Loz. I wonder if he lives in the States on the West Coast. Or maybe he's from Bristol way, West Coast. He's
donated $9.99.
So he's in England then? Thank you so much. That's so kind of you. I didn't expect super chats. That's so lovely.
Is there anything I need for my first PC that is often overlooked? I'm expecting the rest of the hardware soon and make sure I want to have everything I need.
Okay, if you're buying used parts, you'll need some thermal paste, but you may as well buy some anyway, because
fan splitters.
Potentially fan splitters, especially on an ITX motherboard, but you do actually usually get some in the box, which is quite nice, because you don't have many on this. But I would say just make sure you have a decent long magnetic screwdriver. It just makes building a PC so much easier. People always say, why do you use that screwdriver? I have a much smaller one, but it's just this is much easier, trust me. Otherwise, no, as I say, just a bit of patience really. I think honestly it's fairly easy. But that's that bit anyway. We now need an SSD. We have a few options. We have one that's new from, I almost said Corsair. My mind just went blank. I went, who's this from? This is from Samsung, the 990 Pro. This is the 980 Pro came out was one of the first Gen 4 SSDs, so that was the best at the time, and then some others got a little bit faster. This is now at the point where you're very close to saturating the interface, the 990 Pro. I thought it was a little bit weird that they were launching this and not a Gen 5 SSD, but remember when AMD said those SSDs were coming, and they sort of haven't really, so I don't know what's going on there. If there are problems with production, getting it to work, who knows, but it's going to be quiet. So we've got the 990 Pro, much more affordable choice. Personally, what I would put in this is Rocket 4 Plus. I say that, I mean, they've all come down in price a lot now. Rocket 4 Plus, which is sort of like 5,000-ish megabytes on the read and writes-ish, don't hold me to that, similar. So that's more affordable. Or we've got a WD Black SN850, which is going to perform similarly to the 990 Pro, but this is probably going to be a bit cheaper at the moment. I'm looking at the wrong camera. Oh, I've ruined it. Ends the stream.
Fade to black.
Fade to black. This is Carl's favourite button. Do I press it? Should I press the button? No, I'm not going to press the button. I can turn the transitions on again though, look. Ready? It's just so, I mean, it's not lame, but it's just, it doesn't really do much, does it? Then we can go, look, bang. That's the funny one, because it's just so pointless. What is the point? I also want to say this cable will be hidden. I've ordered some trunking and I'm going to sort that out. So, yeah. I'm delaying for time, aren't I?
Samsung 990 Pro, strong winner.
990, the what? You said Prime.
990 Pro.
Oh, I heard Prime. No. Sorry. Okay, that's easy. Samsung 990 Pro is going in. This is the bit where you guys need to amuse yourselves because we normally cut this bit out. Lovely. If you don't have a Brita filter, that's my other thing. That's like not an ad. Get yourself a Brita filter. Come on. Drinking out the tap. Nah, man. Not for me. Oh, that's so good. You know when you haven't had water in ages? And it's just so hydrating. Hold on, it's happening. Did that save it?
No.
No. Oh, it still came through.
It came through this one.
Oh dear. Someone actually unsubscribed once. Why are you putting a burp in? So unprofessional. Do I look professional to you? No. 990 Pro. It's going in. Here we go. And Black Friday for SSDs as well. It's going to be a very, very good time to get hold of one. So we insert this, drop it down. Oh, that's something. To answer the earlier question, is there anything that you need? You actually need a smaller size screwdriver, which is really annoying for the SSD. Some of them are actually... What? Right, okay. Real talk now. Pet peeve of Marcus, which is me, if you didn't already know, is all of this pure gas, this Pierre Gasly about toolless SSD installation. But then the heatsink that goes on it needs a screwdriver. What's the point? What's the point? It does nothing. Either make it all toolless or none of it. Like, honestly, it's just stupidity. You're really running out of ideas that much. While we're on this topic as well, we were looking at motherboard prices earlier. And like, you got, why do stupidly expensive motherboards exist that cost over £1,000 as well? Like, why? We saw one earlier, it was like 1,200 quid or something. It's like, come on. Really?
This will make you feel better. We've got a super chat from Sudesh Waran. He says, love you, mate.
Oh, that's very kind of you. Thank you very much. I mean, if you do want to send a super chat, I mean, the feature's there. It is much appreciated. We do also have, if you want to help the channel out and get yourself something cool, we have the merch launching very, very soon as well, which is very exciting. Something that is not exciting is that I think I've lost the heatsink. Fudge sake! Why am I such a messy person?
What does it look like?
Well, a heatsink. Or maybe there isn't one. No, there's not one. That probably explains it. I've lost nothing. I'm great. We have a keycap though. Oh no.
There it is.
Yeah. Professional. That's me. That's me. Last time I heard someone actually use the word professional was we went to Tom Honeyand's, the tech chap's wedding in the States, and they all went out, had a good time. There's a lot of the US YouTubers are out there as well, who, to be fair, I know some of them, but not really. I'm not in the club, right? And what was it? Mr. Mobile was there, and everyone went out to this Irish bar. And in the US, you can still smoke in pubs, and I'm like, no, man, not for me. Definitely not. We haven't had that in years, and I wasn't a fan. So I left, not early, mind you. This was still at like 1 AM, but obviously we'd gone quite a long way. We went to Virginia to actually go to this wedding. But I didn't tell anyone I was leaving, so I just left. Got on the coach, went home, which was good by me. Got in at about 1:15, and then the next morning, when I emerged, I saw Mr. Mobile. He caught me, and he went, "Oh, I see you made." I can't do his accent. I'm not going to try. I see you made the professional exit last night, and I was like, "Yes, I did." That's a good way of describing it. Basically, just buggering off early. But so since when has early been, 1 AM in the morning? Like, come on. It was a very nice wedding. We had a good time. This was pre-Carl. Sounds a bit weird, that. This was pre-Carl, so he did not come. But Gareth came. Gareth's very upset that you're actually a success. I think he would have loved for you to be a failure, so Gareth was still the best. But sadly, Gareth is his EOL, end of life. There we go. Our motherboard is complete. Do you see now why we do quick editing? Because this is long. But I am gassing as well and making mistakes. But it's fun. I like that you guys are actually choosing this PC, because what have I chosen so far? Nothing. Obviously. Yeah, all right, I've chosen the power supply. What have the Romans ever done for us? Yeah. I like how Monty Python is still like massive, big cult following as well, though. It's not something that has died out.
Really old.
Yeah. I'm going to risk it, put it there. Risk for bisque. Except I now need that box. Where's the box? What's going on? Where's the box? Oh, I'll just do it on this one. It's fine. Keep me updated. What's going on, chat? Who we got? Now, if you're here and you're watching and you're thinking, oh, I might go in a minute, don't, because we'll read out your comment live on air.
Chat is going so fast.
I won't put them on slow mode. They get upset if I put them on slow mode.
I've changed it to top chat. So if you make it to top chat, well done. I don't know how to.
That's the story in my life, isn't it? Whenever I see people, they go, top chat. Right, we have our case. We have all of our cables.
What happened to the Steam Deck review?
Honestly, still working on it. It's just I haven't really been using it that much. So how can you review something you've not used? Because I wanted to use it on the train and actually like realistic scenarios. So it's almost ready. I've been using it a fair bit recently, ever since, I was going to say Mrs. Centric. That's a bit, no, we don't want to say that. But Miss Centric is worse. Thea, since she's been away and I go up there on the train, that's like prime time to use it. So it's still coming. I haven't forgotten. I forget about a lot of things, but not that. Okay, motherboard's gone in. Hold on a second. Carl, I think we might need some special Carl cam. I'll have to make up a jingle in my head.
I've done a thing. I've pinned the chat.
You pinned the chat?
I've pinned the Discord to the chat.
Oh, that's clever. I'm trying to think of a Carl jingle. His name is Carl and he's got a camera he's about to film.
Ding.
That's not bad. That's not bad. So I'll move this all around so you can see. The reason we build on top of the motherboard box is because it's easier. We have more light, all of those good things. Oh, I think it cut out a second there. We've got a dodgy micro USB cable, so that's a problem. This big bit here goes down here like that. We move it in. Yes, there we go, look. ITX is great because you only have 4 holes. So that lines up there, sits into place, happy days, and then we just need to get the screws from this kit. That's the one I wanted. I pressed 3 and I was like, no, I've ruined it. Can't have it. Face reveal, not yet. Absolutely not. So our screws, are they in here? Yes, they are. Not many screws in the back. Not many screws. I'm amazed how slick this is though. Like, it's surprisingly easy to set up this stream. And to all of the whingers out there, I know, you, the whinger, why don't you have an overhead camera? I can't see. Well, we've ordered one. It's cost me friggin' what? Almost 5 grand. 5 grand! Has that made the peaking? Did that go 5 grand? Yeah, that's too loud. 5 grand. Yeah, 5 grand. I need to stop saying that. Bag of sand, 5 grand. No, 1 grand. Yeah. Anyway, we'll get this put in now. Calm down. Calmed down. But it should be good though, because we want all Blackmagic, you see, so we have all the systems and the lights and things. Not that I'm going to be looking up there. Is that light on? Is the tally light on? No. It's just a lot easier to control. And we don't know if this is true, but we have a feeling Cole might be able to actually like control it all remotely, which would be very slick. Imagine that.
We turn it off and on from my own house.
Yeah, you just add a load of graphics like Carl is great. It just appears down the bottom, which would be nice. Cool.
Somebody said you could have got 2 4090s for the price of that camera.
I've already got 2 4090s. They have to go back, so, you know, whatever. Sad times. And you know what, 2 4090s don't give you the overhead shot installing a 4090, so just saying. This is the channel for the people. You know, I let all no, I was going to get bitchy then, I'm not going to do that. But I think that it's fair to say there are different PC channels for different purposes. You've got the very serious channels like Linus, we love Linus around here. You've got Jay, who's very serious, like does all the talking head stuff. You've got Bitwitch, which I suppose is like closest to like American me, right? Probably. I don't know. People just say like British Linus. Not really. Linus is quite an expert. I try to be a PC gamer like you, because I am. I do. I play PC every night, actually. Actually play F1 last night till 1 AM. Safety car came out because Gareth, like classic, hit the curb. Was like, whoa, crazy. And then safety car brought me back into contention because I ruined my wing on lap 1. Had to double pit. Sad times. Okay, so this is in now. Carl Cam. No, give me some comments first. I think Carl Cam needs to make a return.
Should I wait till Black Friday before buying my PC parts?
And who's this from?
This is from Sobu.
Sobu. It's going to depend. I think SSDs 100%. If you can wait, there'll be some cracking deals. So buy your SSD at Black Friday. the more niche parts you get, the harder it gets, essentially. So there's no harm in waiting. I don't think the prices are necessarily going to go up. It's more stuff like your RTX 4090s and 3080s and things. But I think there'd be so many deals. Actually, it's not very far away. I personally would advise waiting.
I think RAM, SSDs,
yeah,
power supplies,
yeah,
because sometimes
even if it doesn't go on sale, you can still buy it if it's the same price. Fine. I don't think the price is necessarily going to go up. You know, it might do, but I think the odds of that are relatively low. Have we done everything? So I've now plugged in our USB-C, our USB 3 and our power switch, which is quite cool. Now we need to work out what we're doing for cooling and things, where everything goes. I'm going to read the manual again. We could amuse ourselves. Hey Google. No, we can't because the speakers are. Oh, will it work? Will you work?
She's confused.
No, she won't. Hey Google, sing us a song. What am I looking for? You are the most beautiful thing I've ever seen, and I don't need eyes to know. That's the one. You remind me of delicious cuisine. I just love cuisine. It when we chit-chat. Thank you, appreciate it. Just for copyright, I'm going to review that.
I'm honoured to serve.
Yeah, I know. I would, to review Google Home's singing ability, I would say, critically speaking, she's got surprisingly good tone for an artificial intelligence, and there are enough songs that it is quite interesting. So if you're after the best AI assistant that can sing to you, I would say Google is a strong recommendation. Take that, DMCA. Yeah. Well, I've lost the friggin' manual. Manual, where have you gone? Manual, you still here?
He's not in the chat anymore.
He's gone. Oh, it's over here. It's fine. Manual's back. If you've joined late, I was very happy we found Manual earlier, and then turns out there was a guy in the chat called Manuel, so it was mildly amusing at best. Okay.
Apparently you set off a lot of people's Google devices.
Yes, that's what it's all about. I would say turn off the lights, but then our lights would go off. Not going to do that. Yeah, not going to do that. Okay, so we're installing it. What do we want? That's the question. Do we want to go for... We've got choice of two different coolers, don't we? We've got the H100i Capellix or the NZXT X53. This is 280 and it's white. So actually, I'm going to take that choice away and I'm going to go for this.
I'll just delete that poll.
But then the problem is the bracket. Does this come with a 1700 bracket? Maybe. Yeah. And can we actually access our motherboard? No.
No.
Fudge. Yeah, just about. It'll be all right. We'll work it out. Or, can we fit an air cooler in here? Not really. I don't think I have one small enough. No. No, this is... But then it can grow, can't it? Where's the radiator goes at the bottom, does it? No. This is what next time I build a PC and it's like full ATX. Don't you worry, I'm going to be an expert. But when you're building in ITX, it's always new, which is fun, but it means that you obviously have to explain things as you go. What have I missed? Who's in the chat? Who have I not said the username of yet? So we plug in this PCIe riser cable.
Who should we choose? Stephen Potter. Closely related to Harry.
Is he? Do you know that for a fact?
Pure fact.
Pure facts, FAX.
What's a good upgrade from a 3070 Ti/5600X? Strictly game with a little bit of office work.
What res? That's going to be the question there. I think the problem actually is going to be that both things are going to need to be upgraded there, because 5600X is probably at the limit with a 3070 Ti. So if you up...
1440p.
1440p, and then even upgrading to like a Ryzen 7 or 9 is not going to help you. The only thing you could do would be get a 5800X3D, but I would probably buy a new graphics card first, wait for the 7000X3D to come out whenever it does, then pick up a 5800X3D, probably used. That's the most efficient way of doing that, because you can just upgrade the graphics card and that will help you in most games, and then the CPU upgrade will help you in the rest. Unless you've got loads of money, then just go for it. Basically. Infinite money, just get a new computer. Yes. So we're going to go with this, aren't we? I think. I'm just trying to work out where it goes, because the graphics card goes there, and then the radiator must go on top. Is that correct? You've got 2 screws, and this thing sort of folds out.
You're the PC building professional.
I am PC centric. That's not PC expert, that's PC centric. I lean towards computers on my preferences. Yeah. So radiator goes on the other side of this, I know that much. Oh, and it can be, you can completely remove it as well. Look. Oh, genius! Genius, there you go. This is quite a cool chassis. You guys can't see. There we go. Just like that. So radiator on top, fans go on top as well. Where's Manuel? Where's Manuel? Where is he?
He's underneath the Corsair H100R fake Alex.
Oh God, I forgot that was off. No, it's not.
It is.
No. Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Just, I feel like something bad's going to happen.
Something bad happening in Oz. Okay, so remove panels, install motherboard, install cables, install power supply next apparently, SSD drives, install graphics card, optional cooling. Okay. Yeah, fans go on the outside apparently. And then radiator on the top. Doesn't make sense. Don't know why you'd do that, but there we go. But okay. So it sits like that. That makes sense. Why would you want to do that though? Because the cables might get in the way. Surely not. Do it the other way around. Tubes facing downwards though. Oh, because then that means you have, okay. Gives you more girth, less tube in your case. Okay. All right. I think this could go 2 ways. This could either be really slick, really easy, or it could be a disaster. So yeah, keep me topped up with some comments, Carl. How are we doing?
My comment is remove the PC from the tower of boxes.
Does this upset you?
No.
That is fine. What's the worst that could happen, huh?
What should we go for? What is the case called?
The case is none of your business. No, the case is called the Evolv Shift XT, and I think it's linked down in the comments, the description section below. It's linked down in the comments. No, it's not. It's not. It's linked in the description below with my Amazon affiliate links. No, oh, we're doing the power supply next. I can't get the friggin' staff. Why don't I just pay you to do everything and I do nothing? How's that sound? Let me know in the chat. Would you prefer Carl just did the channel? He's funnier than I am. What is it? You smell better than I do because your aunt's husband works in a factory and you have too much cologne, so you wear loads of cologne every single day because, quote, you just need to use it up.
Basically.
Yeah. So Carl is just me but better, basically. So yeah, maybe we should swap him out for me. No, swap me out for him.
People are saying yes.
Oh, that's so rude. Rude. I'm watching you. I am watching you. Look, I am looking into your soul right now, and I don't like what I see. Join us for more episodes where Marcus can't open a bag.
I guess we should finally address the elephant in the room.
What's that?
The AMD launch later on. Are we excited? Are we not excited?
I actually am. I think AMD is still like the underdog in the GPU section, which almost makes people a little bit skew and really wants them to succeed. Which, don't get me wrong, I do as well. But just wait until we actually see the performance before you commit, really. I mean, I know you can't buy it yet anyway, but I wouldn't pre-order any GPU. And like I've said with the 4090 launch, don't buy it yet. It's good, but just wait and see what's going to happen. I don't think it's... I don't think you need to worry about it just yet, personally. Power supply... Oh, no. No, it's all right. So the power supply goes in this side, around here. I would guess. Goes in down here, probably. Connects like that.
Important topic from Josh.
Yeah.
Does pineapple belong on pizza?
I'll take it or leave it, really. I think you're asking the wrong question. The right question is, have you ever had Korean pulled pork and pineapple? Because if the answer is no, you don't get a say. Because once you've had that, you realise pineapple is the secret to that dish, and without it, it's nothing. So think about that. Next question.
Is a 1650 good?
It's going to show its age a bit now. Like budget end, fine. Depends on the game that you're playing, but
you could probably get a better used card.
Yeah. So in our most recent video, we looked at the best builds you can do right now, and the thing that was cool about that is you could buy on eBay a 2060 for about 170, 180-ish, which I think is really good. I mean, you've got ray tracing that you're probably not really going to use at that level because it's not powerful enough. But you've got enough power in that graphics card that it's going to serve you in most games you want to play, especially at 1080p. If you think a lot of the games people play are still the ones that were out when the 2060 came out, so the performance isn't going to be that different.
Warzone.
Yeah, exactly. You've got Warzone 2 coming out, so that's going to be interesting to see very shortly, but there we go. Right, I need to get this plugged in. Screws.
Oh, we've got a nice super chat from OPSYS Gaming.
Who?
OPSYS, or Opsis.
Opsis Gaming.
Maybe.
Okay.
Great job as always, Marcus. Hoping we can get to work with you in the future. Until then, keep being the standard for PC content in the UK.
Perfect. I'm glad to represent the UK community. I feel like the US YouTube community don't respect us. You know, they're like, oh, they talk funny over there. So, I don't know. I don't know. We're actually quite friendly people, really. Believe it or not.
It's because our toilets flash the opposite direction.
No, that's not a thing. The Australia, you think, or maybe, I don't know, Simpsons episode. That's where I'm basing my knowledge off of. Just that. Okay, so we put the power supply now. This is a Phanteks one, 750 watts. So this is fine for basically everything but a 3090 Ti or a 4090, I believe. Anything else going on? What? Come on, chat's got to be lively.
What happens to all the PCs you build? I can answer that.
Yeah. Carl, you can answer that.
They end up on the floor, and then Carl comes round to disassemble them.
That happened one time.
It was a big time.
Yeah.
He said it will only take an afternoon. I'm still here 3 days later.
How long did I say it would take you to benchmark each CPU as well?
An hour.
And how long did it take?
A weekend.
Yeah, it did take a while, didn't it? I mean well. I never intentionally lie, but I do get it wrong.
Underestimate.
Yeah, I do that. And I need to take this motherboard out to get this backplate on, which is causing me grief.
Can you grow a beard?
Not really, almost. Every year it gets closer and closer. Like one day I'll be able to do it, but true story, I've always wet shaved as well. Never actually used an electric shaver. Is it worth it? Is it good?
I don't know. Don't ask me because I'm in the same position.
Oh, you never used one?
I've used one, but I prefer the wet shave.
Wet shave. Well, you can buy electric ones that do wet shaving and dry shaving.
Oh.
I just, sometimes I'm lazy. That's why I look like a bum a lot of the time on this channel, because I'm just like, you know what? If I shave now, I might cut myself a little bit, I'll look even more stupid, and I'll be like, hi guys, whilst holding a bit of tissue. Not that I cut myself very often, but I'm also quite lazy with changing the razor blades. So if you've got an old blade, and then you hit yourself with it, and you have blood everywhere, not really what you want to do last minute. There we go. Right. I feel like the PC's no longer the topic of this video now, is it?
It's just
pure gas. It is pure gas. Pierre Gasly, as I said. Oh, but let's get this back plate out of the way. I'll move the case for now. Put that down there. Probably trip on it. I don't know. Does the insurance cover myself? Probably not. Maybe. No. I don't know. Oh no, I fell. Okay, so do we have Intel 1700? Yeah, maybe.
We've got another donation from Mr. Rat. I think it's a bit inappropriate though.
Oh, then that's... can you tame it down?
So being a fellow Brit PC gamer / builder, I ask you, I'm assuming he must be talking about screen sizes because he says 3 inches or 6, which is better.
Ah, maybe. I don't... For what?
For what?
No, like for... I don't really understand, sorry.
No, neither do I.
Okay. I seem to be lacking a backplate altogether. Have I gone... Have I not put it back in the box?
Depends on your budget. That was a good answer.
Have I lost the... How have I lost the backplate for this? What's wrong with me? Maybe it's still on top of a motherboard somewhere. Well, that is major sad. No backplate. I think you'll have to go and rescue one from the Corsair 100 Elite LCD box. Please, don't forget the headphones.
Yep. Sorry.
And we can use this opportunity to talk to you about a funny story. I'm not sure Carl's gone. It's just me now. Funny story. What's happened recently that was quite funny? I've told you about the Ajax rolling in crap story. That was awful. But there's got to be something else that was really funny recently. But I'm struggling. I'm struggling to think of one. If I remember one, I'll let you know. But I don't know. I haven't said this in a couple of years, so I'll bring it back to the time. Not the time, but every time I used to go to a garden centre when I was like... I used to love going to the garden centre between, like, I don't know, ages 8 to 16 probably. And there's something really satisfying about going to the garden centre, going to the compost section, where they have all of this industrial bits of compost like stacked up. And you just run all over them, you like do mirror's edge, you just go around slapping them, make a load of noise. Really satisfying. And I feel like that's one of the things that's no longer acceptable to do anymore. And I've broken this box, which is just really sad. I would love to be able to go back to home base and just like slap some compost, but don't think you can get away with that anymore, which is sad times. Not because there's anything like bad about doing that, it's just a bit weird, and it's like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? Right, we've got some screws in here, so if your box doesn't contain the right kit, then just raid your other one. Learn from my advice.
There's a fellow Carl in the comments. He's got a question.
Has he? What's his question?
As a fellow Carl, how did you get to know Editor Carl?
That's a very good question. You can tell the story if you like.
I messaged him on Twitter, applying for a job.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Had a little interview, didn't we?
Then we had a Google Meet interview.
Yeah, we did. And that was the end of it, really, wasn't it? It was quite chill.
We both had COVID at the same time.
We did. Unrelated, though. So this back plate you grab, you put it over the back of the motherboard, and it should just drop in the hole, I believe, just like that. Yeah, just about. Move them up and down. There we go. Yes. Then you get your screws. I feel so much pressure now. I'm on the fiddly bits. Like the small bits were fine. Like, where's the power supply box gone?
Next to the case.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know, Carl. It's a disaster. Let's just open this up as much as possible. Again, I make it look easy on camera. I know I do, but the truth is, it's not hard. It's just faff. Everything is faff. Radiators are the worst. Like this is still related to radiators. I hate radiators. I need to get that printed on a T-shirt. I hate radiators. I do. Is that in? Is that in? Yes, just about. We've done it. We've made it. So we get our Intel 1200 screws out now. We have to remember that we've used the Corsair LCD kit for this. And if you're wondering why I've done that, it's only because I put them back in the wrong box in the first place. This is the problem with leaving PCs on the floor, job lossing the like removing and putting it all back process, because then bits get lost, which is silly. How are we doing for chat?
No LTT screwdriver.
No, I mean, right. He could have sent me one, couldn't he? Let's be honest. Like, he could have sent me one. He sent one to loads of people. He had a creative edition. Didn't send one. See what I mean? He doesn't want to know me, which is sad. The only time I've actually properly met Linus was at Computex. Walked past him at, it was an ASUS press event. Very strange, because he walked past me holding some badminton rackets.
He is very keen with his badminton.
But why was he at an ASUS press event in a hotel?
Maybe they have a badminton.
Well, maybe who did?
In the hotel.
I mean, I'm not dissing it. It's just very strange. Maybe it's squash. I don't know. I think it was badminton though. Just holding his racket. He was having a great time. It wasn't in gym wear or anything. But that's why I just don't know why.
Camera in one hand.
He was holding them. Bit odd. Right. That is ready for our cooler now. Happy days. Boom. There we go. So when we are ready, we need to take the bracket off this. Yeah.
Somebody made a good point about the LTT screwdriver though. Your one would be an extra custom longer version.
It's true, because I'm compensating for other things. My weedy arms. Oh, for goodness sake.
Is that the one?
It was in here the whole time. Oh, man. Well, it's good to know I'm actually not completely stupid. The only thing I will say is I've now combined these bags of screws as well. So I don't know which is which. Oh, for goodness sake. Bum. Unless I didn't take it out. Actually, no, I didn't take it out. It's all right. This is chaos. Chaos.
Maybe we should have done ATX as the first build.
No, I like the challenge. And as I said, we've got loads of ITX cases I keep forgetting to use. So we need to use them. Is that right? Slide on, please. Any more comments? Let me know. This is your chance. You can ask me anything you want, and it will get read out because I don't even need to see it. That's what Carl's here for.
What laptop are you using for chat? Says Quest Magister.
Dell XPS. No. Oh, this one. Yeah, I'm using a Dell XPS, and Carl's got another one.
I got an Alienware Area 51.
Yeah.
I think. I don't know. It's white.
I don't think it's called the Area 51.
It's got numbers on the map. You can see them. It says 51 on it.
It's like the M17, I thought it was called. Something like that. So we put the Intel bracket on now. Here it is. Good to go. Good app, that. Too good to go.
Will this stream become a video?
Yeah, it would do. So that will go on there. Have we got good contact? Looks like it. I'm just going to test this. No, that is the right. Yeah, I've used 1200 screws, so yeah, that's fine. Look at the mess. I'm like Gordon Ramsay. Look at the mess. Look at it.
I've got a donation from Daniel B.
Daniel B. Good name.
£2. Is the Ryzen 5800X good enough for the tough 3080?
Say that again.
5800X, RTX 3080. Good combo or not?
It is. If I wouldn't buy one for it because there's not that much difference in price relatively, and I think the extra 2 cores are going to become more and more useful. But if you already had a 5600X, I wouldn't upgrade it. Does that make sense? I think it does. Oh, basically,
700X is good as well because it's quite a bit cheaper and it's still 8 cores.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's a bit of a weird one with the well, pretty much all the CPUs now actually, in the sense that they don't actually improve performance as you go up the stack by that much, especially on the Ryzens. Like a Ryzen 5900X isn't really any better for gaming than a 5600X unless it uses the extra core count, which tends not to really, which is quite unusual. I'm so, oh right, because that goes like that. Okay, sorry. I'm thinking on my feet. Well, we've already done this once, but you grab the motherboard and you place it inside the case. Can you see my brain's like, it can't focus everything that's going on. It's like, I'm not built for this. But I've cheered myself up. Do you want to know why I've cheered myself up, Carl? Have a guess. What's happening today?
Oh yeah, Thea's coming home.
That wasn't actually what I thought.
Uh-oh.
I remembered Thursday's pasta day. Pasta's been delivered. So I've got fresh pasta for dinner. Ah. Thea's here as well, yeah. And I'm well excited about that. She's been away. She's back. Been all sad and lonely. I haven't actually. Like, this week's been good because you've been here. Oh no. Oh. It's nice, isn't it? I didn't even want to paint the room. I was just lonely. Please, keep me company. So, yeah. Who have we got on the chat? Read out the usernames of the last few users. Get them involved.
Right then. We've got Carbon Kids.
Carbon Kids. Yeah.
I purchased an Asus ROG Maximus Z690 Hero. Would you add an This is an interesting combination. An i5 12700K and an RTX 3080.
Is it? Yeah, that sounds about right.
i5 12700K? i7 12700.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
To be honest, either is fine.
Yeah, I think with the 13, it's worth having. 13th gen is really good though, so I would actually probably see if you could get hold of 13th gen if there's not that much more money.
Maybe instead of, if he means i7 12700,
yeah,
they'll probably just go for the i5 13600.
Yes, exactly. Because there's a lot more cores now anyway, and the whole efficiency core thing is actually working quite well for Intel this time. I think AMD have got. No, they've just got to release the X3D version. I think they'll be fine, but yeah, this is actually quite a bit of a turd to fit in. I don't know why. It likes to bend out the slot. Come on, go in. Don't break it. We in.
Do you still play Apex?
No. I got annoyed.
Short and sweet.
Is that in or not?
Someone said, Centric, this is a 3-hour build.
Yeah, next time I tell you what, I will live stream. So we did a video, and it's made me a bit sad, a couple of months ago, speed PC build. Clearly, I don't know, title wasn't interesting, thumbnail was turd, I don't know. That was a really fun video. If you haven't watched that, recommend you go watch that. Because that video, the edit wasn't much editing, really. Just camera switching. So I think when we do an ATX build, we should do either like this, where we've got loads of different components, you're choosing what we're doing, or speed build, because that was really fun. So I think actually that suits a live format better. Right, I think we're in now. So, progress. Power supply is in.
We're back where we were 30
We're back
minutes
where
ago.
we were half an hour ago. Power supply is in, motherboard is in, we're now ready for our radiator. It is past Carl's bedtime, so he should be going home, really. You can go if you want.
I'm alright for now.
You're going to stay?
Yeah. I'm committed to the cause.
Okay, that's very nice to hear. So you can take some time tomorrow, probably. It's fine.
Probably.
Yeah, no, I think you can, actually. It's all right, because I'll be doing AMD from here.
We've got a donation from my fellow Carl Shaw.
Carl Shaw, good name.
What was your inspiration to start the channel?
This is like the "how did you two meet?" question. I get it all the time, but it's a good question. It was actually that when Windows 8 came out, and I wanted to find out whether Windows 8 made any difference for gaming. And you know how Windows 11 at the moment actually genuinely does make quite a big difference for gaming? It wasn't really the case with Windows 8, but there wasn't any data out there, or at least that I could find. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to make a video and I'm going to document the differences. And it was a disaster because I recorded a load of things and benchmarks and had them all saved locally on this PC. And of course, it went wrong and the data corrupted, or I had to clean install Windows 11 instead of clean install Windows 8 rather than Windows 7, run the upgrade. So all it meant was that it was a bit of a disaster. But clearly enough people watched it and probably enjoyed the fact it was a bit of a disaster that they stuck around, which is lovely actually, isn't it? Where's the addressable RGB? Where are you? Where are you? It's here. I found it. Oh, this is tight at the top. Does this piece come off? No.
What do you think of Windows
11? Actually, it is good. I'm not going to lie. I've resisted for quite a long time because, if I'm honest, it makes my job more difficult now. Because you can't, you have to reinstall Windows every single time I do one of these builds. Or at least transfer the TPM keys, which I would liken to having 10 padlocks and 10 keys, and then just randomly chucking them all in a rucksack and saying, right, find the key for that one. It would just be too much effort to try and restore all the keys because we use so many different SSDs and CPU combinations. So I have to clean and install every time, whereas with Windows 10 you didn't have to do that. But actually things like just HDR is so much better in Windows 11, which is really important for gamers. Subtle things like when you Alt-Tab, it doesn't break everything. The volume control works in HDR mode. It's just better. So I've actually installed Windows 11 on my 2 PCs that I use, and I think it is better. So there we go. But there are some issues with gaming at the moment, which is the problem. Some games it's better, some it's actually worse. It's a bit buggy.
We've got another donation from Mark Arthur C. Phillips. It's a strong name.
Ah.
$2. Do you support a football team? Who is your team?
If you ask my family, yes. Crystal Palace FC. CPFC. CPFC. But I don't know. I gave that up because the irony is I found football boring, but then people saying, yeah, but Formula 1's just driving around a track. Well, whatever. I like people driving around the track. I also like driving around the track. It's very fun.
We've got another one from Tyler Glass, $4.99. Thank you very much, Tyler. What CPU cooler do you recommend for the Ryzen 7 5800X? Mine runs around 80 degrees cool.
Which one?
Ryzen 7 5800X. It's currently sat at around 80 degrees. You would like it to run cooler.
7950X?
Ryzen 7 5800X.
Okay, yeah. Depends on the case, doesn't it? I mean, always go as big as possible, really. If you've got a big beefy CPU, go for the biggest cooler you can. I quite like the Lee & Lee Galahads, and they're a bit cheaper than some of the competitions. But Black Friday, I'm sure you'll be able to find some big boy radiators or big air coolers. Air coolers are a cheaper way of doing it. Something like, maybe, I don't know, there's Assassin 3 or Dark Rock Pro 4, something like that, I suppose.
Good one.
Sorry, I should be looking at the camera, shouldn't I? Trying to focus up. You know what we're going to do? We're not going to take a break. Yeah, we're going to take a very mild break, because I'm going to have this glass of water. So this isn't like a leave sort of break. This is 5 seconds.
Carl is back again with another donation, £4.40. Carl, they need to. This is a free stream.
Oh, I see it from here. Yeah, you don't need to donate. I mean, if you want to donate, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. You'll get your name read out, but don't feel
it's keep up with the donations.
Not as creepy as this sounds. Not a good start, Carl, I'll be honest.
I didn't say anything.
Is that creepy? No, that's not actually. You didn't need the but this creepy. It's fine. Are you from the North, Midlands or the South? Well, actually, this is a put-on voice, all of this. I actually sound a bit like this.
We're actually from up north.
I'm from up... No. that was more Midlands, actually, but yeah. But then we don't insult people on the stream, so yeah. Anyway, it's not. All voices, that's why I love like the UK and the US. There's so many different accents, and all of them are great. Like all of them are interesting. Even the ones that like people take the mick a bit, still brilliant though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Northern boys love gravy.
Gravy. Chips
and gravy.
My parents are northern, so
they're from Northern. There you go. We've got some distribution in the room. Kind of. Right. Anyway, point is, we've had our little break. I'm back now. So we're going to do the cables. So we're going to do the cables for the power supply. And because this is an ITX power supply, everything is going to be a little bit smaller, which obviously is what you want, because if everything was long, where's it going to fit? Most ridiculous thing I've ever seen, Carl saw this yesterday, is the
what did I see yesterday?
Is the fractal torrent. The fan cable length on that. Absolutely absurd. What were they thinking?
You just need a metre of cable.
Yeah, no, it's madness. Madness? This is Sparta. Oh, here we go. Here we go. What's the time? Oh, we've got plenty of time. I mean, it's 2 hours, 10 minutes until the Ryzen stream. So people can get yourself a non-alcoholic beer or a cup of tea, sit down, have a brew.
got an important question here from Kegan XD.
Hold on, I'm going to do it again. Yeah.
Maybe next time you should mute both mics. So,
oh, okay, sorry.
It still comes through.
Okay. Face to the other side of the room. The mic's over there. Yeah. Come on.
Anyway, Kegan asked, "Are you a Star Wars fan? Don't fail me."
Oh, I feel a lot of pressure now. Yeah, I am. Yeah, I am. I mean, I'm not like diehard. I don't like talk about it all the time. I'm not up to date on all of the shows that have been streaming.
I've not watched Andor yet.
Yeah, I've heard it's really good.
Yeah.
I was just getting around to having the time to watch everything. I've just finished House of Dragon.
That was good.
Which was good. I hear season 2 of White Lotus is out, which I'll watch. That's the first series of that was really good. But yeah, in terms of Star Wars, obviously seen all the films, love all the memes. I don't think Mum and Dad bought me a lightsaber when I was a child, which is actually really upsetting. Like, why didn't they do that? Like, that's not great, is it? I mean, brilliant parents. Other than that, that was a bit of a disappointment. Let's be honest. Right, we're just plugging in our ATX now. Do we want to go to Cold Cam so we can sort of see what's going on a bit closer? I think. Is it time? Is it time? You tell me.
I don't know.
Where's the camera? Are we on this one then?
The camera's currently on foot cam.
Is it on?
Yeah.
Oh. It does run out of battery. I mean, it might be right in 1080p. Yeah, it still runs out of battery though. We don't get this opportunity very often to see what's going on. So here we go. Foot cam's gone. We in? We're happy. There we go. So I'll show you really up close and personal what we got. We might need to zoom in a little. Oh, that is zoomed in. Okay, so this is our computer. Obviously, CPU's here. This is our CPU power. I think it's about 150 watts. We can bring in either, 150 watts or so. We can bring in 3 here. If you have 2 of them, plug both in. We then have our addressable RGB are plugged in at the top here as well. Then we've got our fan headers. One of these will say, no, oh, that was close. You almost appeared. One of them will say CPU on it. That's not the one. Oh, sorry. One of them will say CPU. That's the one you want to plug your CPU fan into. If you're using a radiator, then that's fine to plug that one in. Then you have some others next to it. These are going to be chassis fans, or sometimes it says CPU opt, which is CPU optional. Obviously, RAM's in here. We've just plugged in this big ATX that powers the motherboard. We've got some more RGB down there. That's just a standard 4-pin strip, not an addressable. Our power supply, or our power switch, I should say, for the case, plugs in down here as well. I might have actually plugged that into the wrong one. No, that's correct. USB 3 below it, and then USB-C. These are SATA ports. I don't talk about them very often anymore. Can you see? Can we see?
The USB-C cables and all that.
Well, it's in there. I'll unplug this. There we go. There we go. These are the SATA ports. God, it's tight, isn't it?
It's tight.
There we go. Yeah, there we go. These are you've got the USB next to your SATA there. Look, bang. And then HD audio is located top left, and you've got some USB there as well. Okay, we good. He's safe. He's gone. He's evacuated. He's got the hell out of here. Was that useful? There we go. Any questions about any of those? Let me know in the comment section below. Please, 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 please use this time to get your questions in. Genuinely, if you have anything you want to ask about me, anything about the channel, anything about building PC, anything about the upcoming merch, let me know. I'm so excited. The merch is at the factory. This is real. This isn't another one of PC Centric says something doesn't happen. This is so exciting. I've been talking about this for years. Started in a taxi conversation back in like 2017, and it's finally a reality, and I'm really, really looking forward to launching it, because it's basically I'm selling art. I'm not selling, PC Centric logo on a t-shirt. This is the real deal, and I'm really pleased, actually. I'm really, really pleased. I think you're going to love it. It's a mouse mat to start off with. We'll have a few different designs eventually, but the first bit is very much going to be a bit of a test case. So I hate to say it, but if you don't buy it, there will not be any more merch. So we need to sell, I think, 300 units in order for it to get made. So please, 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 when the time comes, consider getting yourself some merch. It will help the channel out so much. It will mean that Carl actually has a job, the lights will be on, and you will get yourself a brilliant product. Like, it's more about you having a top quality product that you just wait, that looks fantastic.
And Carl having a job.
And well, that's secondary, really. I'd rather people had a nice mouse mat. You could be unemployed. Job centre next Monday. But we don't need to do that. People buy the merch. You're fine. Your battery is running low. I don't really need that, actually. That's okay. If it dies, it dies. Oh.
We've got a £5 donation.
Oh, really? That's very, very nice of them.
From this is an awkward one. I may mispronounce this. In the Anaka, or that could be something completely different. I may have butchered that. I'm sorry. What are your predictions for the 2023 F1 season? Who will win the title?
I think Red Bull will still win, but I think it'll be a lot closer with Mercedes. Hopefully Ferrari will get their act together, because it's such a shame. The first 3 races were so good, and then it's just been really bit dry. When, yeah, you know, as I say, fair play. Like, I'm not actually too bitter about Red Bull. Like, this season clearly been the best, but then they cheated as well because they went over the budget, because apparently they spent too much money on catering. It's just, yeah, I don't think they're helping themselves. They're making themselves into a bit of the bad guys. But then Mercedes won for so many years. I'm not surprised people got bored of them. But then you think the Rosberg-Hamilton years, they were great, even though I hated it at the time, because I want Lewis to win. But actually, it was always exciting. But yeah, we want 3-way competition. You don't know who's going to win. So I'm hoping it will be even more exciting than this year. But last year was just the best. It was so good.
What camera are you using for this stream?
We're using 2 Blackmagic 4K...
6K?
Yeah, sorry, using 2 Blackmagic 6K cameras. We've not got the Gen 2s, but we have ordered an overhead, as I was mentioning earlier. That will be used when we get that. So if you missed me moaning, I was saying we invested £5 basically to get this overhead camera, because you guys are always saying, where is it, where is it? It's coming, it's on the way. Because we had to get a new lens as well, so a new camera plus the lens plus all the C-stands and things to get it installed. Got a little bit expensive. Carl loved it though, it's not his money. He's like, okay, loves it.
It's not my money.
No.
Keep spending.
Right, cables are pretty much in. We've got PCIe we need to add, but we need some SATA power.
Carl Shaw is back. He's asked me, what is my editing rig?
Good question. You did get an upgrade, actually, didn't you, your rig?
Yeah, it was previously a 2700X and a 2080, and now I've got a 3900X and a 2080.
And before long, you can upgrade to the 5900X as well, can't you? Because as soon as we stop using that on the channel, you can start editing on that. But then I don't know how much difference that actually makes, because the GPU is doing a lot of the workload, isn't it?
I think a lot of it is GPU, because it's DaVinci Resolve. It's hard to...
Yeah, hard to say.
Not many people benchmark it either, so it's, in a lot of videos you don't really see what difference they make.
No. Oh, this is going to get messy. It's going to get Lionel, actually, isn't it? It's not Lionel. Lionel Messi.
Lionel Richie.
Love a bit of Lionel Richie. Hello. Cool. Right, so where we are, PC's dead. Right, that's gone. We don't need it. I would say we'd go downstairs and sort it out, but we don't. PC, laptop is finished. And with that, it's time to end the stream. Thank you so much for watching. If you do want to know, where's my water?
It's on the desk.
Where's yours?
There.
Ah, okay. Oh, I've lost chat now.
How long is this stream going to be?
How long is a piece of string? Next question.
Next question.
They're all asking the same thing.
When is the merch coming?
It will be launching this year, so should be going on sale in about 3 weeks or so, I think. Which is cool. Exciting.
Does the Ryzen 3600 bottleneck an RTX 3070 Ti?
In some games, yeah, actually. It all depends on the game and what you're trying to do. Just remember that it's all about what you're going to be playing and what... Oh, it's happened again. I'll turn both off. There we go. There we go. Did that work? That must have worked. Hooray! I officially wasn't unpleasant. Right, how does this go on then?
Is the merch going to have worldwide shipping?
Yes. I don't remember the price, but it should be relatively low. What's that?
Will it arrive in time for Christmas?
Unfortunately not. It will ship just after Christmas. Because the way we're selling it is on this pre-order basis. So the amount made will be the amount ordered. So it should arrive, I guess, late January sort of time, maybe mid-January, something like that. But obviously you have to order it to get it. How does this work? Must go on like that, right? Oh, why are you sliding off? I don't want you to slide off. I know it goes on like that, right? That's that. But then, how does this then fit, basically? With a lot of, like that? Fans go on, don't they? Like that. It is like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then this must go around like that. As I say, it's going to get a bit messy. It should be right. But then what about no, because the fans go on underneath, don't they? Yeah. Oh, it's complicated. Yeah, so the cables go through here like this.
Someone said ask manual.
Where is... I know, I've looked at manual. Manual's told me already. So the cables go in at the end, fans go on top, and then you've got like a bulbous thing.
Apparently the fans go on top in the manual.
No, they don't. No, I don't, because remember I said, why the fans underneath, surely they go at the top. Look, all right, look, he doesn't believe me. Look, I will show you manual. Oh, honestly, he's constantly whinging. Why are you doing the manual? Why are you doing... Look, I've already looked at the manual. And is manual definitely gone? Did he get bored? I don't know where the manual is.
Is it over there, or is that air cooler manual?
That's no. No, sorry. The manual. Oh, it's here. I've got a bag on it. Right, optional cooling. Yeah, fans on the radiator, and then yes, I am correct. Result. I'm a bit stressed now. I hate radiators. This is the bit where I think it might go a bit. But we'll see.
Darren Wooten told you to tidy up.
All right, I'll tidy up. I'll tidy up. There we go, look. Manual can go on the top, like that. Screwdriver, screws, everything, screwdrivers. But then we need all of these bits. Well, I don't know where this is going to go. This is...
No RGB.
No GB. No GB. We need all of that. So that all has to stay. That can go. This can go. There we go. Oh, dropping stuff on the floor. Bits on the... Oh, it's a disaster. So the fans will go on, then this will screw on top. So we do need to... Fans now, don't we? Yes. Which way are we blowing into the case? And usually we do, don't we? From outside.
Is that?
Because there aren't any other fans, so yeah.
You want to exhaust, don't you?
No, because then where's it going to get air from? I guess it doesn't really make.
It pulls it in as well as.
Yeah, usually though you have this blowing air into the case, and that, even though it's hot air, it's still.
But it's going down. Heat rises.
Is this definitely down?
Is that upside down or is that?
Don't know. What does chat say? What should we do? Should we have fans blowing in?
We'll do a poll.
So you're blowing air into the chassis, but it's hot air, or shall we blow air out? What do you reckon? What do you think? What do you mean? And what side are our cables going? I guess that side.
Somebody said one of each.
Push-pull, we could do push-pull. I don't have a problem with push-pull.
One exhaust and one intake.
I don't have a problem with push-pull. People want to do that.
Oh, do you want to know what the poll says?
Sure.
Oh, it's changing. 74% say exhaust.
74%. That's quite a lot. Exhausting it is then. Yeah, all right, exhausting it is. So we're blowing into the radiator. I hate radiators. No, I'm okay with radiators at the moment, actually.
Intake is making a comeback.
No, I've done it now.
Too late.
It's too late.
Too late.
We are fast and loose on this channel. Oh, I've got tired legs now. What is the time? Hey, we've got loads of time. I mean, you don't. You've got minus 35 minutes. But I've got time. So much for playing some Shadow of War after work. Classic me. Well, I'll finish at 5:30. Never finish at 5:30.
You said that yesterday. It's nice finishing on time. And then...
Did we? Oh, whoa. I'll tell you. No, right. I'll tell you what. Yesterday, Carl genuinely wanted to stay behind because he was having so much fun with this mixing deck and the software. Am I lying?
No, it's cool.
Did I say you can go home? And what did you say?
In a bit.
Yeah, in a bit. He wanted to stay. You heard it here. That is a confession of, well, that he wanted to stay.
Did you go to university?
I did. I went to Portsmouth Uni, and it was great. The problem is, I highly recommend going to university. I think it's fantastic, but obviously it's the money. So if you could have as much as a good time at home, still going out with your friends, having a great work-life balance, learning a lot, earning money, that's probably better. So I think it is very much more a case of, don't take this the wrong way, but if you're the sort of person that if you admit to yourself you're a bit in need of improvement, like I know I was, where you're just sort of bumming about basically, and you want to sort of properly learn a trade, I guess, or at least learn what you need to get the job you want, and you're going to throw yourself into it. Uni's great, but equally, if you're going to sort of go to uni and bum about, then don't bother. What's the point? You're just paying a load of money. People did that as well, dropped out. You were quite sensible, Carl, weren't you? You went to uni and you decided that it wasn't for you, so you left after a few weeks.
Yeah, I managed to get out before the fees.
I mean, do you regret trying, if that makes sense? Do you regret going and then actually saying it wasn't for you?
Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes.
Because you do think, what if?
What if you'd stayed?
What if I did finish, or just I suppose you don't know.
Yeah. I think you don't. I hate radiators, man.
I feel like I've just worked out what you've done.
I hate radiators. Every time how many PCs have I built at this stage? Like it's laughable how many I've built, and I still make the same freaking mistakes every single time. Did you put all 8
screws in?
Yeah, obviously. So what I've done is I've screwed the fans in, and obviously the only way to screw the fans into this bracket is to put the screws through at the same time, which is why I'm now taking it off. But I can be lazy here, and I can do some of them. Because let's be honest, this is not actually going to get particularly used, this build, is it? Well, you never know. If I really like this case, I will use this as my own. But the 4090s we discussed doesn't really fit in there, so that was what I'd want to upgrade to. I'm thinking maybe like a water-cooled Cooler Master. What's the case called? The
NR200p.
NR200p 4090. If that fits in there with a block, that'd be great. That would be great.
What job did you do before this?
What did I do? I was very lucky because I was at uni, so I've had 4 jobs in my time. First one doesn't really count because, you know, I was like 12, 13, paper round, but obviously represent to the paper boys. Dying industry, print. Sad times. I'm not sure there are many paper boys anymore. So I did that. Then I used to clean toilets. Happily tell you that. I was like the office cleaner for a couple of years, 2.5 years, something like that. Learned how to clean toilets. Useful skill.
I did see your bleach skills earlier in the toilet.
Is that a case of too much information?
It just looked really, all like the lines and everything look quite good.
Well, we've got a lady coming later, don't we? Yeah. So we need to make sure that when she goes in there, it's somewhat presentable. Right, fans are in. I think this is correct this time. Everything can sort of feed through. Like this, there we go, like all your cables. Lovely jubbly. Does it look quite slick, do you reckon, with the camera changing? Is it a lot more interesting, you think, than you know, just having the one? I guess when you have the overhead it will complete it as well. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it looks better. It breaks it up a bit.
Have people got suggestions for the next stream, how we could make this better, other than actually probably having a bit more of an idea what we're going to do? Or maybe you like the randomness. So what's going on here then? It's just a bit tricky to get this lined up. No, that's all right, isn't it? Yeah, that's all right. Okay, we're in. There you go. How about that? What do you reckon, Carl?
I think it looks more like a computer than it did.
Yeah, but then these, I've got I don't like the fact that you have the fans in the computer, because it just means you've got risk of it getting blocked.
Yeah.
That's a bit of an oversight. But it told me to do that. So I would actually, personally, if I was doing it again, consider doing it a different way. But hey ho, that's not the right screw, is it? No. What are people saying now? Give me some names. Come on, let's shout out some names. People can get their name on PC Centric. Unbelievable. This has never been done.
What have we got?
What do we have? What do we have?
Ghost. Obviously one of the main characters from Modern Warfare 2. He's in the chat and he said that cooler looks like it's just been plastered on top.
Yes, this is a bit of a weird case that when you build around it, this is your frame, and it can be small or it can grow, and when it grows, you essentially build around the cooler, apparently. Oh, so now we need to get this on, so we need to get some thermal paste in here, and this can sort of go.
Somebody said about doing maybe a live rate my build session. I think that could be quite risky.
What? Well, no, you'd have to vet it, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
But yeah, you could in theory do that. So Corsair, they're kind of asking you to have it like that. But then
somebody said, don't forget the thermal paste.
I know. Don't you worry, I have not forgotten the thermal paste. I know it's the sort of thing I would forget. No, I wouldn't. I don't think I've ever forgotten thermal paste, actually. I've been good. Yeah, that'll work. Cool. Right. Speak of the devil, he shall not appear. I don't know where he is. Where's the thermal paste? Do you know what happened to it? Is this? I usually put it here. Oh, I've got to make some smells.
That's where it's in.
Sorry. Where was it? Where is it? Why? It doesn't go there.
I don't know where it goes.
If you put it in CPU mounting,
it seems relevant.
Yeah, I mean that's more my labelling system really. So we're going to add some thermal paste. I suppose you should be able to see what we're doing really. So look, here's our cooler. What's gone on? There we go. Cooler, thermal paste, nice large amount in the middle. What is this? Oh, this is the i7 as well, isn't it? Cool. Remember, we're going to need to do a BIOS update as well, or this will not work. So that goes like this. this on top. Like so. Give it a little push. And then if you take it off, you can make sure you're actually getting contact, which we are. And then I just need some screws. If that pings everywhere, it's a disaster. Give me some chat. Very quiet. We can't have quiet. This is the best entertainment people ever have / could ask for.
Ben Edipal asks, does thermal paste brand matter?
If you ask the right people, well, yeah, if you ask certain people, they'll say yes. I would argue it does not matter for most people. It's only if you're really trying to get the lowest possible temperatures, then it might be worth investing in something better. But because thermal paste is all about the transfer of heat efficiently, it tends to matter more. It tends to matter more the more powerful the CPU, because you've got more heat that you're trying to take away from the chip quicker. So you have thermal capacity, i.e. the amount of cooling the system can take, but then you also have the efficiency of the transfer, so how efficient you can transfer from the CPU to the cooling system. So that's why you have sort of diminishing returns. So if CPU thermal compound is not good enough, it will slow down the process, but you might find that your bottleneck, just as it would be with frame rates and things, isn't the thermal paste. But it's going to depend on the CPU. Most people will just use the bog standard one. The stuff I've got here, of course they sent me loads of this, that's why I always use it, XTM50, but I know Thermal Grizzly, a lot of people rave about them. I personally haven't really ever felt the need to shop around and get the best thermal paste, but if you do, I do understand. What am I doing? I'm getting the other screws that are here, because they're on this bracket.
A few people are asking, what is happening with the personal rig? Will it return?
Okay, so yeah, the personal rig, I am actually using. It lives. It's downstairs at the moment. Carl, can you testify? Have you seen it on?
No.
Okay.
Not since the last video.
Okay, so I'm using it downstairs. But
it is downstairs. I can confirm that.
Yeah, it's downstairs. It works, but it doesn't work properly. But it works well enough that I can play games on it and get all the benefits of a quiet GPU. But I want to, at this point now, change out obviously the graphics card to like 4090 or 4080 at some point. So I think what I'm going to do is probably get a new block for it and then redo the tubing with like soft rubber tubing on the CPU and the GPU. Then that way, when I do eventually get hold of a 4090 that I can water cool, is then easier to swap out. Because as cool as Hardline is, you've got to think, for me, I'm constantly swapping components out. So it doesn't really make sense for it to be, oh, I've dropped a bloody screw. It doesn't really make sense, oh, for God's sake. It doesn't make sense for me to have Hardline really. So I'll keep some of the Hardline, but then I'll use some black rubber, because the whole theme was like a black build. So if it's, as long as it fits that and it doesn't look funny, it'll be fine. But I know that might upset some of you, but at this point, I just want it to work properly, you know. So does that answer the question? Oh, that was weird. I had a green light came on there.
What does that mean? Is that good or bad?
I don't know. I think you can probably set the light to green. If you're controlling it, you can say it's going to go to that camera in like 5 seconds, is what it would mean, or something.
That's quite good.
Something like that, anyway.
We've got a comment from Tristan Holly. He said this live stream is very well laid out.
Laid out?
It's a slick setup.
That's not bad for a first go, is it? We have jumped in at the deep end here. We just need Gareth here as well, and then we could do. He could be permanently on camera 3 or camera 4.
The handy cam.
Handy cam, yeah. Right, this is getting messy now. I don't like this. Oh, this is high risk.
Have you tried the new Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer?
Yeah, it's all right. It's similar to how the other ones have been. I do like it, but personally, I've sort of left Call of Duty multiplayer behind, I'm afraid to say. I could get back into it, but I get frustrated easy. So these days I play games to properly relax. So I'll play some Warzone though. I think I'll definitely play some like Warzone 2 when that's out. This is so fiddly. Why did we choose this for our first build? I mean, look at this. Look at it. Wait, let's go big. It's time to go big. Wait, there we go. Look, so you can see. Look at this. Carl, do you want to be on? Can you reach focus for there? I don't know. I mean, that's all right. I'll just bring it back. It's all right. Or you can reach focus. Look, there we go. Yeah, look. That is messy, boy. So the problem I've got at the moment, and what I'm worried about, so those fans at the bottom, because I don't want those to hit any of the, you know, the cables and the fans and things, which would be problematic. So we will have to wait and see what happens, won't we? But that is how it says it to do it in the manual. So hey ho, there we go. Then we can plug in our box, and God knows where this is going to go. This is actually a bit stressful now. And we have to update the BIOS, so first time we turn it on, it's definitely not going to work. What's the time? Yeah, we got time. We got time. So we've got our junction box. We need to plug in the USB to the USB header. Oh, this is so fiddly now. This is going to be live though, isn't it? If it works or not. That's people will see that it is very genuine when I turn the PC on for the first time, whether it works or not. Because it's pretty scary actually.
At least we know it's not going to work the first time.
Well, yeah, it's more whether the fans and things have clearance issues. That's the issue. That sounds bad. But where's this going to go? I mean, I'm just going to have to put it in here next to the CPU cooler. It's going to be a bit naff. It doesn't matter because it's going to be sealed off, but not a massive fan of that, if I'm honest. But anyway, yeah, I'm not sure I'd recommend this cooler actually for this one. I would get one that doesn't have a junction box. That's why we do these builds, so you can see. This is good. I love this in a big case, but in a small case, anything like this is just going to potentially cause you issues. So I wouldn't recommend it for this chassis. Phanteks recommend their own one, of course. I wouldn't go for any one that has like a pump attached to the cord either, like the Be Quiet. What's it called? Be Quiet, like silent loop.
Silent loop 280.
Yeah, something like that. I wouldn't recommend that either. Is it? 240 only as well for this particular one. And then we've got two fans coming down here. Oh, and RGB, which is completely pointless because you're not going to see it either. Oh, well.
What about the case RGB? Is that plugged in?
Yeah, you have RGB from the case. So this was not the right cooler for this job, but that's my... I say, yeah, it can't be your fault because both the options I gave you were RGB coolers. So yeah, just save yourself some money. You don't need these. You've also got like a potential fan splitter as well that comes with a case. I don't really understand what that's for. Who knows? So we've got one fan plugged in and one RGB. You can also plug in a temperature probe to this as well, which I quite like. How are we doing in the chat, Carl?
We've got a conversation. We've got a question from Mystic. Are you going to play God of War Ragnarok?
Oh yeah, pre-ordered mine, and I've done it the old-fashioned way of ordering it through, online, because it's slightly cheaper. It's like £55 rather than 60 or 70 or whatever it is. And the problem with that is that Royal Mail in the UK, they're still striking. So I have a feel I'm not going to get it on launch day, but I'm okay with that. I've made the bed with that. Made my what am I talking about, Carl?
Ragnarok.
Made my bed. What's the phrase? I've made my bed with that. I've come to terms with that. There's a phrase.
Made your bed, now lie in it?
No, I don't know what I'm talking about. Someone might be able to tell me. Basically, when you're comfortable with something, like I'm okay with that. That's fine. I've come to terms with it. Maybe, I don't know.
Made peace with.
Made peace with it.
There we go. Thank you, Jet.
Made peace. Made peace. But yeah, back to some of the early questions. Really, people were saying how difficult is it to build a PC? What's hard about it? I think doing this live stream should illustrate it very, very clearly. it's just time consuming, and we edit it down a lot because people would not watch all of this on the scale that obviously they do at the moment, which is the point. I mean, this is very much meant to be informative entertainment. It's like a car, infotainment. And doing these live ones are good because they show you the reality. It's actually just, it's you know, it's not manual labor, but it's a lot of stuff that needs to be done. And there's things to think about, like all of these cables now that I'm really trying to make sure don't go near the fans, but don't think there's anywhere else they can go is the problem. This box is going to go in there. That looks terrible. But there's nowhere else for this to go, because in this other chamber, right, the way you think, oh, that can go there, unfortunately not. Oh, although actually maybe they can go on the top.
That's the bottom. Yeah,
maybe it can go on the bottom. Because there's a piece that slides on, isn't there? Potentially. Oh, if I knew this case better, it wouldn't be a problem. That's the top, isn't it? That's the top. What did I do with the bottom bit? This I think is the bottom bit. So that's, yeah, that sits on there like this. Fits in. So I don't think there's actually necessarily a way of having... No, that is the top. Is that top? It can't be the top, can it? That must be the bottom.
It's upside down at the moment.
That is the bottom, isn't it? I'm just getting triggered by the power supply. It made me question what's going on. But that's okay. So yeah, that must go on like that. So just, where am I going to put the junction box? I'll make it work. Ow, I've just dropped it on my foot. Ow. Ow, disaster. Let's move on. Let's move on, and we'll let the people decide whether stuffing this in at the last minute is a good idea or not, or whether it's a PC-centric special. But I think it's going to have to, so tough.
Does it usually take this long to build a PC?
If this was ATX, I would have done it easily by now. There was just quite a lot of stuff to get used to, really, I think, with the stream, so no. But if you're dealing with ITX, this, I would argue, is quite normal, would you say?
Yeah, it's at least double the time.
Because you're working it out as you go. It's always unique. So in a way, if it's your first PC build ever, yes, it will take this long, because I'm doing what you would be doing, which is trying to work out where everything goes, where to route everything. Whereas normally in my PC build, I know how everything goes. It's really easy. Just to progress through it, but every time I do an ITX build, it's a bit more tricky because you do have to locate everything and work everything out.
They're always different.
They're always different.
Cases are always generally the same.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
I would say so. Maneuver, which is nice.
Every build is unique, but if you've built in an ATX case before, unless you've got something particularly quirky, it should be fairly similar. Only issue now, look, I've got to plug... This is the sort of thing that obviously we don't show on camera, which is I've just plugged this in, and now I've realised I've got to get the power supply cables in. So this is time I've wasted, whereas when it appears in the final edit that you'll see, I will then say, right, now to install our graphics card, we've got to sort of plug the cables through, plug it in before you put it in. So I sound like I know what I'm talking about because I've learnt in real time, whereas doing this live, you get to see. How are we doing for the stream? How are we doing in terms of numbers, concurrence and things?
Right now it says 649 watching now.
That's good. I'm very happy with that. Very happy with that. I think we peaked at 1,000 towards the start, which is good. But I mean, you're never going to get everyone staying to the end because people are busy. But I think this is probably fairly... I'm not sure if therapeutic's the right word, but if you are interested in building a PC, I think the live ones are going to be the most realistic to see what's actually involved. Oh, come out, please. Oh, for goodness sake. Yeah, you also don't see me get upset and annoyed in all the videos, really. It's very toned down. Ow! It's stuff like this. Then you cut yourself a little. It's not cutting yourself, it's nicking yourself a little bit. It's just like, it's annoying. Anyway, let's get our power supply plugged into our graphics card.
Some people want an update. What are the specs for this ITX build? It's been a while since we've...
It has. So people voted for everything we're doing here today. So we had another case as well, which was a bit like a Mac sort of case. It was a Streacom. But people voted that they wanted me to build in this. So we're doing just that. And this is the Phanteks Evolv Shift XT. Comes in a couple of colours. This is the black version. But if you wanted it in gold, it comes in gold. I'm almost said naughty word there, probably came across actually in the stream because I said it quietly, but I'm wearing a microphone. Probably picked that up. Naughty boy. Shouldn't do that.
I didn't hear it.
You didn't hear it, you're alright. I said fudge. Didn't say anything else. Right, so that's that. I mean, we actually can turn this into like a live AMD watch along at this rate. Which is really funny. But there we go. No, I'm doing that video tomorrow. I want to rest. PC Centric does need to rest as well sometimes. So, cables are plugged in, look. So now we can feed this through to the big hole at the back. Big gaping hole for the cables and things. Plug that in. Oh, I liked the jingle we did earlier for the Carl Cam. That was quite good.
Jingle.
Yeah, I need to get that made up. Should have been recording the stream, really. It's time for Carl on the camera. Something like that. It's good. Or when Google did the song, that was a highlight as well. And anything that I didn't directly do is a highlight of this stream. Oh, no, it's not too high. I refuse. Yeah, I was going to say, I refuse to believe it's too high. Actually, oh, for goodness sake. See, and we're learning as we go. If you plugged the graphics card in before, then what, or you unscrewed this, obviously this whole thing lifts up. So you could actually get to the power supply connections, couldn't you, just by lifting this up? But we've screwed it down, which is fine. Which is fine. But again, this is a very good illustration of what actually goes into building a PC, which is why I wanted to do it. This is not perfect. There is no perfect build. I think, I don't know, I was going to say it's disingenuous. That's not true. But when you see people do all these like hardline water-cooled builds and things on like the top channels and they make it look easy, it's not disingenuous, but don't go thinking that it actually is really easy to do like a custom loop. It's not, and I don't think anyone should be telling you that it is. It's fine, but it's not the easiest thing in the world.
Somebody said we could put the junction box below the graphics card, as there's like a SSD slot there. Ah,
yes. That's a very good idea. We will do that. Thank you. Who did that? Who gets the cookie?
I've lost it.
I've
lost it. I'm so sorry. Where does it say behind?
I can just hear myself going, ooh.
No, it's gone.
It's gone, oh no.
Maybe they can comment again so I know who said about putting it behind the GPU.
Just screwing this graphics card in if you're wondering. This is what I mean as well about plugging in the PCIe cables. If you hadn't already done it, you could just lift this up. Everything is good. Quite liking this case, it's slick. I've heard good things about it. Has anyone got one of these that's watching? Everyone going, oh, you've done it all wrong. You don't understand. Then we've got one more of these bad boys to plug in. Very quiet in the chat. What's going on?
Just, what CPU do you recommend for gaming and streaming on a single PC?
Anything i7 or above, really. It's as simple as that. It used to be that you used to go for a Ryzen when you were a streamer because Intel didn't have the core count. But now it seems to have swapped around slightly where Intel have better core count and AMD tend to have like more performance per core, but then not really anymore either. So it's a good time to get hold of a PC because all options are good options. Really, you know, we talk about future-proofing and things, don't we, quite a lot, but there we go. What else? What else have we got to talk about today? Has anyone got plans for Halloween? No, Halloween's happen. For Firework Day, that's the one. You got plans for fireworks, Carl?
For bonfire night? No, nothing planned.
No, just a nice evening at home with the fam, with the missus.
Yeah, nothing exciting really. I'm going away on Sunday, so.
Oh, very nice. Oh yeah, I won't say where you're going, obviously, but
to this location.
You're going this particular location at this particular time. You'll be carrying about £500 in cash.
In a bag.
In a bag. Yeah, we're not doing that. I don't know. When was the last time you used cash? Because I never carry cash anymore. If someone robbed me,
this morning for my haircut.
They wouldn't get much. Was that?
My hairdresser refuses to take card. Which I guess is a little bit dodgy. But...
Yeah, I don't understand the reason for that, because surely it's a lot more effort to not accept card. I get that it costs you like, oh, this is so boring. So boring. It costs you like 5 to 10p a transaction or something, doesn't it? But I mean, surely the convenience is worth that. Everyone takes card. Everyone takes card.
People are confused about Firework Day. They don't know what that is.
So in the UK, we have something called Guy Fawkes Night, which is where there was a plot. You sort of learn about this in school. The equivalent is, I guess, when you learn about the Revolutionary War and things. I don't know, what's an equivalent in the US? Like Independence Day, that sort of stuff. You learn about this at school. It was a plot that Guy Fawkes and his cronies had to blow up the Houses of Parliament, I think, like, killing everyone, really, and just sort of... I guess it was a protest against the government. But we almost celebrate the fact that the plan was foiled, don't we?
Oh, that's what we celebrate. With fireworks.
Yeah, because they wanted to blow everything up, so we blow up the fireworks to represent what didn't happen, which is kind of strange.
Yeah.
Am I wrong? I'm pretty sure that's what it's all about.
The more you think about it, the less it makes sense.
Yeah. I think we just like pretty colours.
Yeah. Basically, it's an excuse to get fireworks out and everybody comes and watches. It's a nice time.
Yeah, I've only ever set fireworks off myself once, and it was pretty... I don't know if I'd recommend it. I prefer having a responsible adult in charge of fireworks, personally. Oh, that's not me. So,
Andrew Palmer's dog does not like fireworks.
No, Ajax hates fireworks as well. Absolutely hates it. He gets all scared and hyperventilates, and it looks like he's smiling, which makes it worse because he looks really happy, but you know he's really upset and sad. It's just mean. Oh, I think we've made some progress here. Do you want to go to Colcam for a change?
We can do.
I don't know what more you're going to see, but we can...
You can see the mess.
The mess! All right, Gordon. These cables look suspiciously in the fans to me. Oh no, the power supply cables are... Oh, this is gonna... Oh, honestly, this is a disaster. Why do they say to put the fans like that? I'm not happy with that. I'm not happy with that. Are we in? There we go. Yeah, I think if you can try... I'll spin this around, let's so you can see. I think if you can try to have the fans at the top, I just think that would work so much better, but I don't understand why in the manual they tell you to do that, because there's all these cables that might start clashing with this, whereas if they're on the top, they're just not going to. But we can change it around if we need to later, but I want to get this done now. But what I'm doing is grabbing all of these cables that were plugged into this, feeding them through to the other side, and who was it? Was it Jack? Gave us the idea.
I think it was Tyler.
Tyler gave us the idea. He said, why not put this underneath the graphics card where the SSD goes. So we're going to try that. Because we're not using a SATA SSD. Don't know. Oh. Right, we're in. Happy days. So these cables now. This is going to be the most interesting shot ever. These cables can go through the hole at the bottom and come out, which means trying to somehow feed them through. It's fiddly. This is the problem with ITX. ITX is hard. Make no mistake. It's doable. Obviously it's doable, but it is definitely a little bit more difficult to do. And then how's this then gonna... I don't know. That's not even... Oh, I don't know. I'm panicking. I'm panicking. How I am. Huh? how am I going to get my fingers in there? There's not enough room in the hole down the bottom to feed all of the cables through, unless we go around the side, maybe. We could try that. Let's try that. So these come from the fans, and then we can feed them through this hole here, like this. Do you want to get a bit lower, I think, potentially? Feed them through this hole. So they will now be sticking out the back of the computer, that's the problem. But as soon as we put our... Oh, no, you can do it actually, because you've got a cover that goes over this. Feed these through around here, into the chamber at the bottom. Like that. There we go, happy days. I think that will work. But this is a case that will probably won't look great the first time you're building it, but the second time, or if you upgrade it, you could probably learn a lot and get it a lot neater. There we go. Cool. Right, I think we're done with that. We can return to mic off for the burp. Ooh, there's a mini one. And we're back. So that now needs to go around to here. This needs to unplug, go into here as well. Oh, I've done that wrong, but that's okay. What should we talk about now?
I'm checking the chat, see what people have been saying since...
What we've been saying. Again, get your questions in, folks. This is your chance to have the chat of a lifetime. You can literally be on the channel. On the channel. What we got? Dead air is a crime. Can't have dead air.
Andrew Palmer said that's a cable nightmare.
It is a cable nightmare, but there's, I think you agree, it's not my fault. There's not much I can do about it other than just try and make the best of it. But I think I've worked it out. I think this cable management actually isn't going to be as bad as I first feared. Just one more thing to route through, then actually we're not too bad. Not too bad.
Winters asks, how do you clean your keyboard and how often do you do it?
Never. No, not really. You can buy all sorts of different things, but it depends how gunky it gets. Mine tends to be all right, just a bit greasy, so you just give it as like a soft wipe down. Just don't obviously use a lot of water or anything like that. Just a gentle cleaner, very damp cloth probably is how I would do it, I would say.
What about an air duster?
Yeah, if you take it apart and you want to clean the inside, then an air duster is quite a good thing to do, actually. But most, you know, the worst one I've seen was my friend Ollie's. He has a cat, lovely cat. It's got a bit old now. It's still going though. Lovely thing. And it is a white cat and it leaks hair like nobody's business. And he took his keyboard apart. Oh no, he didn't actually. He just soldered / gave his old keyboard. It was one of those Logitech ones with the screens. Do you remember those? The LCDs at the top. Going quite back a while ago.
Oh, the old Logitech one, was it?
Yeah, Logitech one. It's got a membrane keyboard, old school.
Yeah, really old one, yeah.
And he gave that to my other friend Alex, and he... Oh, it goes there, doesn't it? And he took it apart, and it was just full... It was disgusting. It was full of hair.
Yeah.
Like, it was just like growing, like a bird's nest. It was awful.
Oh.
So if you don't clean your keyboard, it can end up like that. So don't do that. I hate radiators. All of this was caused by the radiators. If you'd said you wanted the AMD, I would have used the nice ITX cooler that just sits on top, and we would have been done. It would have been so easy. But we've got...
AMD were 49%.
They were so close. Yet so far. This is just going to have to... Oh, sorry, guys.
How often do you clean your PC?
Never. Very rarely. All right, but it's a bit unfair because I used to clean it when I was using the same one, but now these days I tend to rotate a bit, so it's less of an issue. Right, there we go. I think we're in. Yes.
People are reminding us the AMD event starts in just over an hour.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, we're, an hour 15, we're fine. We will be ending the stream. Don't you worry. I reckon big commitment would be done in about not even half an hour, because it is basically done now.
Everything's plugged in now.
If you think, look, that's all plugged in. Happy days.
Just show that side.
No. That's all plugged in. This side is not quite so good. But I just need to make sure all of the cables are away. This is not going to be visible. This is the key point. This is designed, not a glass window. You have, they're here, aren't they? You have sides. So eventually this will sort of, I think, sit something along the lines of that. So you're not going to see any of it anyway. But it's just the fans. The fans. I again, if you're only just watching the stream, I would highly advise swapping the fans to the other side. But I'm just following the instructions. This is what they said, didn't they? You know, I just don't think it's necessary. I'd much rather have the bulk. I'm tempted to. I'm gonna override it because I think it's going to cost way more time when we turn it on and it doesn't work. Sorry, it's for the third time we're swapping this around. Speed. We're going to do this with speed though. Speed. It upsets me though. It does upset me. More comments. Come on, Carl. Let's quick fire. They've got to be coming in.
What's your favourite keyboard and mouse?
I am using at the moment. What am I using at the moment? I like the Logitech ones. I like how I have to look. G915, my favourite. But Corsair have just sent over their new K100 Air, and I'm very interested to use that. I find that the combination of like the thinness of like, you know, the laptop style thin keys, but then mixed with the extra bit of tread from the mechanical key switch is great. I highly recommend you try it out if you can. I think they're fantastic. That is okay, isn't it? Just thinking how am I going to...
A lot of people seem to have a 3070 Ti in the chat. That seems to be a popular
choice.
What CPU do you recommend for the 3070 Ti?
I would recommend, if you're buying it right now, look at getting 5700X or 5800X 3D. But then that's not come down in price. The reason I say the Ryzens is suddenly they're massively cheap. Yeah. So they're quite good to look at, and you can buy a cheap B550 motherboard. But then obviously the advantage of going for Team Intel at the moment is that you get a bit more choice, because if you go for like a lower grade i5, then in a couple of years' time you can upgrade to the i9 that will still give you more performance. Whereas if you go for AM5 at the moment, obviously you get maximum longevity, but you're paying so much money at the moment that I don't really see it being worth it personally.
5700X is £240 at the moment.
Yeah, that's quite good. I think the best CPU is not out yet. I think the best gaming CPU is going to be the 13400.
Yeah.
Probably. But we have to wait and see, really. Because the i5 is brilliant at the moment, the 13600K, but then that's also still more expensive than it needs to be, really, in the sense of most people don't need to buy the overclockable motherboard and all of this stuff, so. Yes. Ooh.
What do you think of the 4090 power connector issue?
That is a good question. I think, honestly, it's a problem, but it sounds as if it's a problem with NVIDIA's adapters. So it becomes, is it dangerous? Is the question, isn't it? Is it dangerous or not? Because if it's not dangerous, then they can just sort of quietly recall if they needed to. Remember, there's reports online, and it seems as if there's a few, but we don't know the scale and we don't know the full details. So we can't specifically say, oh, this is a big problem for NVIDIA. They have to fix this. It's unacceptable if they don't, because I don't have all the information, and none of us do. But the fact that there are quite a lot of reports coming out.
I'm going to have to interrupt you.
What?
Are your fans meant to be that way round?
Yeah.
Yeah? One round one way around the other?
No, but I'm going to do push-pull.
This is by intention.
It's not, but I think actually push-pull is probably how I'd go for this, because then you get some airflow in the system, but then you also get you just get better airflow really. You get a mix. I know that sounds like I'm guessing. I am guessing. I did that. I did it wrong, but I genuinely think push-pull is actually not a bad idea for this specific chassis. So that's fine. You agree or not agree?
There's not much agreement in the chat.
No? Okay. Well, you get the best of both worlds with this. You get some clean airflow in, but then you're also increasing the amount of air that's sort of brought in naturally, because this fan, or this one as it's going to be, is going to bring air in through the rest of the cracks in the chassis, if you like. So I reckon if we compared thermals, there wouldn't be much difference in it, personally.
Wouldn't that be a fun video idea?
What, push-pull?
Fan configuration.
Potentially, yeah. That goes on like that, doesn't it? Just, yeah. Fans are now on the top, yes. So now I need to screw this plate in with the screws. What's going on in the chat?
Ryzen 5600X and a GTX 1650. Good for Warzone and Fortnite.
Say one more time.
Ryzen 5 5600X.
Yep.
GTX 1650.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah.
No more. Yeah.
1080p.
Yeah.
Medium.
Perfect. Again, it's all about theoretical frame rates. So let's pretend you're playing at 1080p. You pair it with an RTX 4090. Well, obviously you're going to have a lot of GPU horsepower that can get you very high frame rates, and your CPU is going to need to be very powerful to also be able to generate that amount of FPS. As soon as you start turning up the resolution or potentially some of the other settings that mean that your GPU maximum frame rate is lower, then the worse CPU you need, really, because it's not going to have to work at its hardest. And a lot of people, when they're CPU bottlenecks, they don't realize it, because it will say GPU utilization, you know, like 70%, but CPU is still only like 8, 20, 30%. So it's like, well, CPU's not being fully used, so it can't be that. But obviously it comes down to single core performance and single threaded workloads, and games tend to be single threaded and take advantage of that full performance, which means that your CPU bottlenecks, despite the fact that your CPU utilization is not 100% because they're not multi-threaded apps. Be good if they were, but did you know that Xbox Series X and the PS5, the nearest equivalent is like a Ryzen 3600? Seems a bit dated now.
3700. It's 8-core, isn't it, the PS5 and Xbox?
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
8-core, yeah.
Maybe then. I was reading about it yesterday. Clearly didn't pay attention. I genuinely thought they said the closest was the 3600, but maybe not. Digital Foundry
might be underclocked, so it's not performing as good as a 3700 would, maybe.
Yeah, potentially. Potentially,
yeah. What do you think on iGPU gaming?
It's good if you're aware of the limitations. If you're just looking to play some more esportsy titles, then it's a good idea. I know I've not done all the screws, but whatever. Right, is this now going to fit in? That's the crucial question. There's no reason why it shouldn't if it did before, and yet. Oh, I see, because you get more of a bend. Yeah, I see. So you get a bit more bend in these pipes, but as long as it's sort of clear, you should be all right. Yeah, oh, yeah, so that's what, the reason they tell you not to do this is because the bends you're going to have in the pipes is potentially going to be too much to the point where you're actually kinking the hose, which is happening at the moment, but I can move these cables out of the way. So I do understand, because that's now fine. Do you want to get Carl Cam to demonstrate this? This one actually, yeah, that is kinked a little bit actually. That one is kinked a little bit. Interesting. You might still be all right, but I'm not going mad. I'm not going mad. I understand the limitations now, which is good. That's all I wanted to do. I want, you know, you're trying to understand why they would suggest that. But if I move this cable over here, look, like that, move that down, I think I could get that to work. Just about. Or just. Oof, I don't really like that though, but just about works. Not ideal. Not ideal. Do you think that's coming across okay? I don't know what chat's saying because we're blind now. But these tubes here, we might have to turn it up. Right, you wait there. Cameraman, Carl, you wait there. I'm going to turn this up. Does that mean they get the magic of... Oh, right, here we go. Oh no, it's on that camera, isn't it? Oh, I'm being stupid. Yeah, I'm being stupid. We're going to have to change the brightness on that. Sorry, I'm being stupid. You change the brightness. Sorry. Because I want this to be clear. So this is something, if you are buying this case, you need to be aware of. There we go. So go brighter than that, brighter than that.
Can't get it.
Is that max? Okay, that's fine. It's this cable here. You see the tube? That can't be kinked. So if that goes higher, then there's more travel and less chance of it kinking. So similar to what we were saying about this 90-degree adapter for the 4090. You don't want it to kink or you won't get the full airflow. Exactly the same the other side. Here, you see how that looks a bit sad? It needs to be more curved. So that's okay. Or that's borderline. You don't want it to kink, so I'll have to fix this. But I think I'm confident I can just about get that to work. Just need a bit more length there. And push it down. Maybe like that. That is okay, but that is, as I say, that's on the verge of not being okay. You agree?
Yeah.
I'm not happy with that.
It's tight,
but it's going to have to work. That's too bright now, so you need to fix that camera. Actually, I think they all probably need a little bit more puff where it's got dark. A bit more puff, please. Oh, it is. It's stress. It's stress. This. Don't even know what screws I used. It's a disaster. What are people in the comments saying about my antics? Do they agree or at least understand why I'm saying what I'm saying? What are we saying? What are we saying?
I need to catch up.
What, you mean you can't do everything at once? How dare you? There we go, I think that's in there. We've got silence, we've got dead air, Carl. We can't have dead air.
I'm trying to find... People are talking about Modern Warfare 2.
No, this is talking about my shoddy build skills.
People are saying Modern Warfare 2 has bugs. I can agree with that.
It probably does have bugs. What are the bugs?
There seems to be a lot of random flickering.
Yeah.
Black boxes just appear.
Oh, that's bad.
Textures should be. Overall, the game was alright. It's just the quality was awful.
Fair.
Stuttering as well. People are saying. No one's talking FPS drops. No, there seems to be a lot of complaints about Modern Warfare 2. No one
complaining about my build.
Radiator.
All right, okay. You mean there are more things going on in life than just this? I've lost the screws now, don't you know? Ugh, I swear these are... Oh, is it just not... Oh, I don't bloody know. That'll do. No, it won't do, apparently. Oh, I was over the wrong hole. That would explain it. There we go.
Somebody said, remember over 2 hours ago when he said it would take like 90 minutes?
Yeah, well, I say... I didn't know. This is a really tricky case to build in, actually. Genuinely, this is a tricky case to build in. It's not that it's not doable. It's just, it's all about part selection. If you choose the wrong parts, not even the wrong parts, but like we've demonstrated today, and I'm very glad we have. If you choose parts that are a bit tricky, then you can end up in this situation where you've got two bad decisions. Are you risking kinking the hose, or are you going to risk having fans that are blowing into... Yeah, I'll fix that. I'm happy with that. Are you risking fans that are going to get snagged on all your cables? Well, I think we're done, aren't we? Would you agree we're done, Carl?
I think so.
Just got to tidy up.
I guess the side panel needs to go on. Or
I'm not going to do that, yeah. Oh, you know what's really funny? This USB doesn't reach now. Do we need to plug it in? Don't think so. Not for this.
What's it for?
It's for the Corsair pump, so it goes off internal pump temperature, but if we want full IQ, you'd need to plug that in. But I don't know whether you need it. Quite annoying. I mean, is there a way to get that nearer? Yes, you just need to flip it around. But then that doesn't then flip round.
Have you ever broken a graphics card before?
Yes. The 2080 Ti I broke because I took the water... I put a water block on, and it was a dodgy water block / dodgy installation. Yeah, and the memory overheated because it wasn't covered properly and it died, which was pretty sad. It was pretty sad, actually. Gave me some good content, but I mean, I'd much rather have a good GPU, to be honest, that was working, because I was using that. It's a sad, sad day. Have you broken any hardware, Carl?
Fortunately not.
No? You're more sensible than I am.
Yeah.
Don't agree with that.
Anything.
No. You're not stupid, are you? No.
Nope. Would you recommend drinking NPC building?
What, like alcohol? No.
I'm guessing.
End of next.
Next. What is the software machine thing you use to change your camera angle on the disc?
It's a hardware thing. It's called the Atom Mini Pro. It's Blackmagic. Like the device itself isn't that expensive. It's about 350 quid, but that's relative to everything else. So the full set, the brightness needs to be changed on this camera. Sorry. The cameras are all like £2 each. The lens is about £1 each. Then when we're recording, you need SDs for each one, or what do you call them? What do we call them? The Samsung T5s or the SanDisk
external SSDs
things. So the whole thing gets more expensive, but obviously it grows with the channel. I think that you should always invest to make the videos the best they can be. But obviously you're not going to spend money that you either don't have, or it's all relative. Like all the time you're bringing in enough money to upgrade, I think you should do that. And it's been a while since I've done it, so I was keen to invest this year's money back into the channel, really. And it means that we enjoy ourselves more, don't we, if we have more stuff to play with.
Something new.
But there we go. There is our system for now. What do you guys think? I think that this SSD bracket isn't going to go in properly. We'll deal with that later. But there we go. That's the other side. It's just this Corsair hub that needs to be tidied, but I can take this cage out potentially. But I think this is going to be good. I think this is going to be good. We just need to plug this in with some power, and we need to update the BIOS. So, oh, that made a noise. But this isn't going to work, so we need a BIOS. But I've just remembered, it gets very tricky because you need to have an older USB drive formatted in FAT32. So if you take this, Carl, and you download the BIOS for this, that would be grand. And while you're doing that, I will see if I can reassemble this. How does this, I need to undo what I did. So it goes back. Secure the riser cable. I think I've done that. Place the chassis back on the bottom panel. Okay, so this is our bottom panel up. I'll unplug it again for now. Have I updated the BIOS on this? I don't think so, not recently.
All done.
All done?
Yeah.
Oh, that was easy.
I downloaded it earlier.
Okay, this is going to be a bit sketchy then. We're going to do this live. So, if you're unaware, we're using a 13700K in this PC. And because we're using a 690 board, we need a new BIOS to get this to work because it doesn't know what CPU this is. This is 1,000,000% the right one.
Yeah, I deleted the other one that was on there.
Have you read the instructions online for the ASRock BIOS? Because sometimes you need to rename it. It's probably worth looking it up. But then all we need to do is plug it in to power. We get our USB drive. Is this the only thing on it now, yeah?
You have to rename the file to creative.rom.
Creative.rom, in caps probably.
Yeah.
Case sensitive. So here, do that for me now. Having our glamorous assistant that no one ever sees. That would suggest otherwise, wouldn't it? Hidden in the dark shadows of the room.
Got a face made for radio.
Oh. Radio Carl. Radio Carl editor. You're still down on my phone as Carl editor, by the way. I don't think I'll ever change that. It's kind of funny.
Creative.rom.
So he's renaming it to creative.rom. And we will plug it in this USB port that has the little grey box around it. And this bit's always like quite nervy, but it should work. You don't need a CPU or RAM installed. You just plug it in. And then what's the instructions? Hold down the button for...
Plug the 24 power connector to the motherboard and turn on the power supply's AC switch. Do not power on the system.
Yeah. I've then pressed the button.
Press the button for about 3 seconds.
Yeah.
LED starts to blink.
Yeah, it has indeed.
The BIOS update procedure will take a few minutes.
Yeah.
Wait until the LED stops blinking, indicating the BIOS flashback has been complete.
Okay.
BIOS flashing has been complete.
Yeah. I think
if the LED light turns solid green, this means the flashback is not operating properly.
Oh. So what are we waiting for?
So it should flash red and then it should go off.
Flash red and then go off. Okay. Just need to turn that down. Flash red and then go off completely, yeah? How fascinating.
So it should take a couple minutes. So I guess we could answer some questions.
Yeah, we can do a bit of Q&A. I mean, I really love that we're doing this live because you can see potentially how easy or how difficult this is, because this is what I'm going to recommend to a lot of people. But you have to make sure you buy a motherboard that does support BIOS USB flashing. You know, like ASUS or whoever it is has like trademarked the ASUS BIOS flashback and all of that stuff. But they all do the same thing. They all have this little outlined box and then a BIOS flashback button. It's a bit weird on some of the Gigabyte boards. The button's actually on the other side of the motherboard. Like, why? Just put it there, but there we go. And it's just a case of waiting now. And then we should be able to power this on and then start to put it back together again. I'm not going to do that now because you do not want to piss about when you're dealing with the BIOS flashing. Place the chassis back on the bottom panel. Okay. Because the computer... No, the computer's the right way up, actually, at the moment. That is correct. And then you put the side panels in. And then you adjust the top panel position. You adjust the top panel position. Are we in focus? I think so. Top panel position, depending on which config we're going for. Okay. And then, yeah, the top just goes back on, really. So it should be fairly easy. Dust filters and things. It says it's 7:08. It's definitely not. Oh, no, it is. Oh, the time's updated. How about that? We've actually had this RTX 4090 blocking our lovely...
It's been there the whole time.
YouTube logo this whole time. So maybe we should do that. Better?
I don't know. It seems...
High risk. I like to live dangerously, though, don't I? Have it like that. There we go.
Marcus, how tall are you?
Oh, we are about, I am, don't know, like 5'10"-ish, something like that, I think. Did that come through, or were we right?
That's fine.
We got away with it. No, what, no one knew? Okay, we're good. Oh dear, boys with toys, hey? We're still flashing. It's flashing faster now. Does it say anything about flashing faster?
It doesn't say anything about flashing faster.
It probably flashes gently when it's preparing, and then when it flashes vividly, it's actually applying it or something. But it's just scary, because you think you've built up your PC, and then if this doesn't work properly, you can't get it to work. But there we go. The top panel is here, so is this the bit that I've got to adjust? Yes? Yeah, so you need to move the screws.
Oh, somebody did hear it.
Hear what?
Nothing.
Where are the screws? Are they on this panel?
Apparently we're getting a lot of hissing noise.
Are we? I think it's if I'm not talking anymore. Or we run out of battery. How can you hear it though?
I can hear a bit of it.
Not too... Unless I've adjusted the button by mistake on the old mic pack. No, because it's on your side. So, don't really know. We can check the technical. No, it's still fine. I mean, I can turn it down. No, that should be as good as we can go, really. So, unless I turn you off, has that changed it? I mean, you're on a bit of a delay, but I've turned you off now. But I don't see why that would change, because it will be the wireless bit. It's just if there's some interference, maybe some interference on the computer.
Yeah, there's a little bit of noise there still.
Yeah, okay. It might be where we've turned the computer on and I'm standing close to the power supply radio signals. But the good news is we are complete, because the light's gone out, Carl. So,
Light's gone out, so
I think our PC is done. This is flown by. Thank you so much for it. No. Let's see if it works. I need a monitor. And I've just realised we're using the monitor over there for our output, which is a bit of a bummer. So, what should we use? Should we use this? Yeah. So if you don't have context right now, I'm taking one of the monitors off one of our other monitors, like the monitor on top of a camera lit. Here we go, boys and ladies. If there are ladies, are there any ladies watching this? Let me know. I mean, is Thea watching this? Probably not. She's on the train. There we go. So we've got our display on. I don't know whether it would actually show a BIOS or not, though, but we'll plug this in just for now. And then in theory, we should load in. Our SSD probably has a copy of Windows on it or something. There we go. Need a keyboard and a mouse. This is worst PC to monitor ratio ever. But there we go. The keyboard is also going to be about as big, a bit wider than the PC, which is funny. I'm excited, but all we need to do is just see that it works and then put it back together properly. But I think it's always good practice to turn your computer on when it's in like a shell form, rather than, oh, that looks so weird with that missing now, rather than putting it all back together. Because if something is wrong and you need to fix it, obviously the only way you're going to be able to fix it is by accessing something. So, where's the power button? Oh, well, I thought about it. Ah, there we go. We've got some action. We've got some RGB fans. Are we going to get an output? I will move this round.
GPU is spinning.
Yeah, there we go, look. It's going to think about it for a little bit, but we have just updated the BIOS, so. And the other thing as well is we don't know whether this screen is actually going to support the BIOS resolution. But we've got spinning fans, not hearing any horrible noises. We're definitely connected. Oh, yeah, we got it! ASRock, we're in! I don't believe it. We did it. How about that? We're not getting anything now, but yeah, it said ASRock. It says ASRock again. I'll move this out of the way so we can see. There we go! How about that?
Moving into Windows.
This is amazing. This is such a good idea. Ah! No dramas. No drama. Well, I don't know whether the whole thing's actually going to go back together again yet, or our CPU temperatures and things, but I think we're all right. And there we go, we're in. Look, it works. We're in. How about that? I'm happy. We have a computer. Can you believe it? I'm well excited
mobile gaming.
Yeah, I mean, this is actually the monitor I personally use every night. This is really good for like Age of Empires and things. I mean, it's not a bad little display, this, actually. That's really funny. What are people in the comments saying?
Somebody said, the PC is questioning its life choices after being connected to this monitor.
Yeah, I think the PC needs to actually become a PC, if I'm honest, right now. So we'll shut it down. There we go. Oh, actually, I've just thought of something. We could have actually plugged it into the Atom.
Ryan Perry says it's the best monitor for the job.
It's the only monitor for the job right now. We can get another one. We've got one we can fetch, but it's not here at the moment. So this is the bit I don't like. Obviously having this pretty ugly thing down here, but as I say,
once you've got the side panel on, it'll be fine.
Yeah. Well, I can take the hard drive cage out here. I can take this out and then you'd sit it there, but I don't know whether there's that much point doing this, bearing in mind we're almost done. I just want to get this back together again, really, and then we can turn it all on. But we've got not got enough room to push it in all the way, which is a bit of a bummer. Who chose these components, honestly? Oh wait, it was everyone. Everyone's to blame for a change. It's normally just me, but everyone's to blame. But let's see if we can get this back together. And then we did it in great time, didn't we?
Record time. So
this is the bottom bit. So if I follow the instructions to the letter, it says secure the graphics card. It says secure the riser cable. We've done that. Place the chassis back on the bottom panel. I don't know which side is which, but they look fairly similar. But I would assume that one side is different to the other. Potentially. Yes, this must go like that, maybe. Oh. This is now the problem. This needs to move. Am I actually going to have to do that now? Oh, don't do that. No, no, no. That's not a noise you want to hear. Not a noise you want to hear at all. Oh, I hate radiators. It's just the worst. Look, there's room. That's why it's silly, because I can see that there's room. But that just doesn't want to go in there. Can you turn it around the other side? Maybe? Have it like that? It still sticks out though. I'm using a bit too much force there, that's risky. It almost fits, like almost, just sticks out. Just sticks out. Why does it stick out? Oh, fudge.
Will it stand upright behind the GPU?
No one needs to know. What, here? Yeah, it would fit in there, but the cable doesn't give us enough length. That's the issue there. I would love that to work, but it doesn't. Don't really know what to suggest, because the only thing I think I can do is to unplug everything, really, because there's no way around it, really. All I'm doing, look, is actually fraying this cable a little bit, which I don't want to do either. Is there a way I can uncable manage it? Is that making any difference? I don't think so. I don't think so. That's the USB. I mean, we know the USB works, so maybe I'll just move the USB for now. And we'll just say, oh, you'll buy an extension or something. Let's try that.
Watching this build reminds me of why I always build in full towers, says Brock.
Yeah, but remember, once you're done, it is obviously done. So that's the thing. You building it is the hard bit, but then once it's complete, you don't really think about it again. Not unless you want to upgrade something. This definitely went in earlier, didn't it? Oh, yeah, there you go. Hooray! There's just no USB, but no one needs to know.
Quick, get the lid on.
Get that lid on, yeah. Okay. This is starting to feel a bit like a lonely build now, I'll be honest. My throat is gone. And note how I didn't push the advert button once. Respect that. Remember that when I release the merch. Everyone wins. PC Centric merch. It's coming soon. It's coming soon. Big plans. So we pick this up. That's the bottom. And then I think we slide this on somehow. Yeah, so that clips on, I think. Is that in? Yeah? That, yeah? Yeah, that's in. One screw at the back. So that's the bottom. There we go, we're in. Happy days. So that's all fine that side. Here, there's a little bit of cable mess, but nothing that can't be sort of sorted out. It's really hard to get a clean ITX build. Like, I commend people when they do like a water-cooled build, like hardline in an ITX case. I just think, how on earth do you do that? Then the side panels go on. Are they identical? They look it to me. Yes. So side panel now goes on. Are they the same? Which side goes where?
What are the full specs of this system?
Do you want to tell people, Carl?
Marcus is busy right now.
I'm in pro concentration mode right now, yeah.
We've got a Gigabyte RTX 3060 Ti, a Corsair H100i Elite Capellix cooler, Phanteks Evolv Shift XT, ASRock Z690 Phantom Gaming ITX / TB4 Mini ITX motherboard.
Phanteks power supply as well.
Phanteks Revolt SFX 750 watt power supply.
I think that must.
And a Samsung 990 Pro 1TB SSD. Oh, and the RAM. I can't remember what that was now. Oh, that was Corsair as well, wasn't it? Corsair Vengeance RGB.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think so.
You can just about see it behind all those cables. That will be the other thing. When it lights up, you will see things.
Yeah. This is unusual. How do I? It's a slide the mesh panel. Slide
and
the
a
mesh.
13700K.
Slide the mesh panels down. So maybe I'm making it more difficult than it needs to be. Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody says it looks like a toaster.
I'm not sure I'd say that. I feel like something's not quite right on this side. Is it just bulging out? Is that definitely the... And then... Yeah, I guess it is like that though, isn't it? Oh, because it's meant to. Ah, yes. Okay, I understand. Ah, yes. That makes more sense. Oh, then we get this side. I'm glad we did this, because I think we've thrown everything at this and we've given it a good go, and we've shown that even a good case... I don't think I've got any real complaints about this. I like what it does. It's just maybe a tiny bit too short for radiators. Maybe if it could go just a little bit more. But I don't really have any big complaints about it. I think it looks cool. Don't know whether it's going to perform cool or not though. Oh, it's taking ages. It's taking ages. How long has the stream been? What time did we start? Oh, God.
We're at 3 hours and 18 minutes.
Nice. Well, that's in now, at least.
We did say allow double the time for an ITX build.
Did we?
About 2 hours in, we did.
Oh. That sounded bad, didn't it? Nobody needs to know. Right, that's that. Final piece, I think. Final piece. This will go on the top. I do need to adjust some screws, but that is how it will look. Yeah, no, that was right, wasn't it? Because that goes on the top. The mesh is in the middle and it hides it either way. And that sort of... I just need to move some screws down, it said. But then what screw? I get it. So there's some screws here. Screws here, they just need to be moved down slightly. Need my smaller screwdriver now. Need one of those like really thin ones. You know, the knobbly ones. How do you... Don't give me a weird look. What would you call it? Like the knuckle ones. Really short screwdriver.
Oh, a stubby screwdriver.
Stubby. What did I say?
Knuckle screwdriver or something like that?
A what?
A knuckle screwdriver?
Yeah, a knuckle. Like a knuckle, like really... Yeah, it looks a bit like a knuckle, doesn't it? Who's in the chat? Who has been here for most of this time that needs big love, big shout out?
Aussie Bowstrings has been here a long time.
Aussie Bowstrings.
Brock is still here, Brock with a C.
Yeah, we like Brock. Brock
is a little bit concerned. He thinks that you may have left your girlfriend waiting at the train station in the rain.
No, oh God. She's meant to be here at 7. No, she wasn't. She's getting here later. Oh, the comedy is unbelievable.
There's a lot of people who have been here the whole time. Harold Roman, been here since the beginning.
Put it on while you're watching your dinner, you know.
Adam Ballinger. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. I'm not very good with these names. I'm terrible at names. James Downer's been here. Darren Wooten's been here. Jessica Levy's been here. Ray. Just Ray. That's a good name.
You can call me Ray, and you can call me Jay. So that goes in there like that. Sits on top. That's it. That's it. Legit. There we go. That actually looks like the picture, doesn't it, Carl? How did that turn out like that?
It doesn't look like it's on straight.
What's not on straight? Just forget about that tiny little Corsair cable poking through.
The top of it, it's not quite on.
No. It's in the... Yes, it's it can't go down anymore. There's just the front fascia needs to go on. Yeah. But you're not happy with that. What's wrong? Does that look okay?
From the side, it just doesn't look quite...
Oh, right, I see what you mean. Something's not...
It looks like it's a slide.
Is it, though?
FGG has noticed it's slanted.
But then...
That great guy says it's wonky.
You're wonky.
Oh, Brock said, this has been great fun. Thank you both.
Oh.
And he left a $2 donation.
Well, he's the man. We like Brock, as I say. He's a good lad. That was almost my foot, but it wasn't. I guess it's a case of what is the bit that's wonky. Because this clearly needs to secure down as well.
Maybe if the fans were below the radiator, it might have been all right.
Maybe you need to put... Oh. Maybe you need to... Yeah, maybe you need to put some extra screws in or something. Because, yeah, that probably gets propped up, doesn't it? Like that. So, yeah, there's some other knobbly bits on the other side. So you probably just need to insert a couple there. So you move them. Oh, yeah. So there's 2 more screws you need to put in, but that's okay. That's okay. So you put them in the air boost config. No, the liquid cooled config. You need to put a couple more screws in. It says.
One of the screws on the fan is sticking out a bit.
What's that?
One of the fans, that one.
Oh yeah, it's not actually screwed in. That'll do it. I don't think that made a big difference there.
No.
I don't think so. I just want to see this working. We're so close.
Carl Shaw with a K is off. He said, right, I'm off. Thanks for the laughs, lads.
Well, thank you for tuning in. I'm sorry this has been slightly confusing at times, but we got there in the end. Don't know if I'm using the right screws, but I'm going to commit anyway.
Aussie Bowstrings is still here, though.
Aussie Bowstrings. What's the bowstrings bit all about?
I don't know. Maybe he makes Australian bowstrings.
RuneScape represent. You're a big RuneScape player, aren't you, Carl?
Yeah, maybe loves spinning flax, making bowstrings.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking. Yeah?
Maybe.
That looks better, doesn't it? Is that
no.
the same?
Still wonky.
Okay. Well, I think we're just going to have to pretend because we're not.
As long as just see the front on, it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, it's very easy to fix, right? You just need the right screws, and I'm a mess. So, if we do this, do we have another HDMI cable? Should I take this one out now from the camera?
Yeah.
Oh. So that's that. If we plug our Magic cable in here to the back, sorry, it's going to be a mess. This is when we do picture-in-picture, don't we? So we go, oh, have we set it up properly? On? Picture-in-picture on? I don't know. What's the picture? There's a button we can press. Look, we change the buttons. It says no, it doesn't like it.
Is it just flashing?
Yeah, it's getting a bit upset. Something's a bit off. No, there you go.
There you go.
I bet it's trying to do camera 1, so that's okay. If we move...
So if we plug into HDMI 1.
HDMI 1. There we go. Hopefully this is going to be the final thing. Oh, no, the fascia's still missing. I promise the next build we do is going to be a bit slicker than that. There we go. Press the button, which is this power button down here. There we go. It lights up.
The front does look good.
Yeah. I think that's quite slick. That's the side. No, there's the slide. Slide, that's the side. There we go. ASRock logo. That works quite nicely, doesn't it, with the picture-in-picture? How about that? Do we have time to run a game?
The whole chat has just turned into RuneScape chat now.
RuneScape chat, okay.
Can it run
RuneScape? Turn picture-in-picture off. Right. I need to turn this on. I need a top secret. Is it asking for password? I don't know. What's it asking for? 1. Password. Okay. We'll do that very, very slickly. This is very safe, clearly. Password is incorrect. Brilliant. Caps. Yeah, I think we're on. We're in. So now we can go back to picture-in-picture. There it is. It's live. We can go full beans. There it is. How about that? We're in Windows proof, and we need new picture-in-picture, Carl. Can you get? That's me. Can you get me somehow? Get me on the picture-in-picture, please. We go back. If you try and set that up, I will progress. While we're doing this, we'll swap it round so you guys can actually see. Camera 1. So I can go over here. I can turn this on. We can show everything's working. XMP is not enabled. I got worried then. Our GPU was very big, but it's okay. I'm on the wrong one. Sorry, press them wrong. There's too many things. So you should now see in our output. There you go. Look. Here we have our 13700K running at about 5 gigahertz. GPU. Why is our GPU going to 100%? That's a bit worrying. But it's sent at 31 degrees, so that's okay. Not a problem. SSD 990 Pro. Happy days there. And our memory is running at the base DDR4 speed there of 4800 megahertz. So, shall we open up some Cyberpunk? I think that's it, isn't it? See what this PC can do. Cannot connect to the Steam network. Here we go. I don't know what frame rate we're outputting in, probably in 30 FPS, so if it sort of ends up looking like slightly stuttery, that's not the PC's fault. Well, that's me! I've got me twice! What's going on? That's the wrong one. Oh, that is rubbish quality. There we go. Right, we're in. That look good? Yeah, I'll just have to remember to look into this camera. This is not a bad operation, is it? The fact we can do all of this live is pretty cool. As I say, it's asking for trouble, but there we go. So you guys wanted to know exactly what this thing can do. We have DLSS on. Frame generation is off, sadly, because obviously we don't have a 4090 in this. Set this to max res, 1080p. There it is. Bang bang. Happy days. Continue. I'm liking this. This is slick. Only really works with games like Cyberpunk though that don't have DRM. Because if you had to like sign into Steam and everything, that's asking for trouble. It's quite a nice big picture-in-picture though. I don't know why it's not loading. This is suspicious. What's going on here?
It's just...
Oh, it says because I was in the wrong place. It's all right. There we go.
Press space to continue.
Yeah. So we also need frame view open actually, don't we? Yeah. So we get that open. There it is, top left. Obviously this is 1080p, so take it with a fair pinch of salt. Do we have DLSS is on, super resolution set to, I'll make sure it's set to quality.
Ray Tracing Ultra.
Ray Tracing Ultra, baby. Ray Tracing. I just wanted to know if VSync was on, but I don't think it is. It's off, okay. Just because we seem to be getting bang on 60 FPS, which was quite funny. That look alright on the stream?
Yeah, looks good on the stream.
Yeah. There we go, 70 FPS. There we go. This is what this PC is capable of. Which is pretty cool, because obviously if you're buying a 3060 Ti, it's not actually too much of a big ask that you're probably playing at 1080p or 1440p.
Especially at Ray Tracing Ultra preset.
Yeah, Ray Tracing Ultra. I think that's great.
That
is chat asking for anything specific, or are we all good?
People saying well done for making this actually doable. Well done, lads. A challenge doing it live.
I mean, it hasn't. I wouldn't say it's necessarily been like a challenge actually, because it's been operation as usual. We just obviously have to patch this all together. Yeah. It's just been the logistics of trying to build it in a case we haven't built in before, I suppose.
But I think if this was like a big ATX case, it would have been smooth and steady.
Yeah, but who wants that? We want exciting. And as I say, I'm so glad people got to see a proper showcase, if you like, of this case. The CPU is getting fairly warm, 75 degrees, so I have my doubts whether the flow is as much as it needs to be. But in terms of acoustics, look, it's not making too much noise. I guess it is making a bit, but it's not too bad. Not too bad.
RuneScape 3 max graphics.
Let's turn it back down to Stream Deck now, Ultra.
Somebody said, FGG said, push and pull not working.
No, evidently not. But then, as I say, I would guess that maybe we're getting some restrictions with the flow as well. But then actually, no, hang on a minute. This is running a 13700K. This is going to get hot, actually. That is the thing, isn't it? We forget.
Yeah.
That is going to get hot. There you go. That's what this looks like. Anyway, running on 30 FPS, but uncapped, so about 110. GPU's not getting too hot. It's making a bit of noise, but not too bad, really. And I think it's probably a good place to end the stream. So genuinely, thank you so much for watching this. This has been great, and I genuinely think it's been great having you here, Carl, as well. Because if you weren't here, it would be so much more difficult to try and engage with chat.
Yeah.
So I think future streams going forward, we don't know when it is yet, but what do you guys think about 4080 stream? Either launch day or probably the day after? I would love to hear your thoughts, because that'd be really good, because we could ask questions and live benchmark and all of those things. So I'd love to hear your thoughts. But as I say, thank you so much for watching. If you are interested in this case, a few of the components, they are listed down below.
Yes. Yes to 4080 stream, they're saying.
Yes to 4080 stream. Well, okay. Well, as soon as we can, we will do one of those for you. I promise you. I can't say whether I've got the cards in at the moment. But if I did have them in, I wouldn't be able to tell you that I had them in. So, I mean, I definitely, hand on heart, do not have a reference card here. So, there we go. yeah. Thank you so much for watching this stream anyway. Enjoy the AMD one that starts in 20 minutes. Thank you so much for giving me your time. Like, subscribe, comment away. Hit me up on Twitter, socials, TikTok, @PCcentric. Carl, do you want to shout out? What's your handles?
I don't really have any that I use, to be honest.
So you don't want the followers?
No.
All right, no followers for now. We'll get him a separate edited Carl one. But yeah, thank you so much for watching the stream. We'll catch you